We're here. We're back. It's time to do some lawyering. Where'd Biscuit go? Biscuit! Oh, you're over there by your food. Never mind. Thank you for the hydrate, Maya. I'm already postured! I mean, I could always stand to be more postured, but... Hi, I hope everyone's doing well. I was started a couple minutes earlier. I was looking for something. I couldn't find it. I'll try and do it next time. Don't ask questions. But we're back. I wasn't feeling super great on Thursday. I'm doing much better now. Oh, I wasn't feeling great yesterday. But I'm all better. Yay. Run some errands. Run those. See, here's the thing. I've started doing this thing on Saturday, because I always do go get groceries on Saturdays. Actually, now that I think about it, I might be able to start doing it on Mondays, which is even better. If reason. Anyways, but no, like, there's particular water that I like, a flavored water kind. There's a particular brand of flavored water, like a particular flavor that I like, and a big pack it comes in. But if I go just a little bit too late in the morning, it's already gone, because there's only a couple of them. So this morning, I woke up at like 7. I left the house, or the apartment at like 7:30 to go run groceries. I mean, it's also nice because then I get to spend the whole weekend at home without worrying about it. It's like, cool, I'm awake and I'm home and I don't have to fucking go anywhere. Because it's already done. And also, there's good parking spots and not a lot of people at 8 in the morning. Anyways, is Apollo okay? He's been muttering to himself all morning. Yeah. They stopped doing that because of COVID, right? If I recall correctly? A lot of things happened in 2020. 2020 was a weird year. 2020, some say 2020 is still happening. Anyways. What was I saying? Yes, no, I like going to Walmart when there's not as many people. It's very nice. He's been like that since yesterday. I guess the pressure of today's trial is getting to him. Poor Polly. He's really tearing himself up over all this. Get it together, Apollo. Hi, Biscuit. Where are you going? Hi. Are you just chatting, or do you want me to do something? Never tell. It's like, are we just having a nice conversation, or do you need me to do something for you? Hey, have y'all thought about the fact that it's already September and that 2025 is in just a couple months? Get it together, Apollo! Athena! When did you get here? Try to relax a little bit, will you? You're getting yourself way too worked up. Yeah, but I'm alright. I'm fine. You know, I did a little digging on this Nahuda Sadmati guy. He's apparently not your run-of-the-mill prosecutor. I know! We need to object to him because dude doesn't know what it's like to go up against a lawyer. He never has. Unless he's actually a lot older than I think. And thus, he's been around for 20-something years. Oh yeah? What did you find out? Well, they say he wields an incredible power to accurately read a trial's karma and its ultimate fate. Guess what? We're gonna fuck that up today. What is that supposed to mean? I don't have all the details, but apparently he can foresee how the arguments will go and even lead his opposition. So the defense basically ends up going in whatever direction he has in his head. And this isn't going to be a cakewalk if that's true. Apollo, I have a very important question. When is it ever? I feel bad for them. I kind of feel bad for a lot of lawyers in this entire world, because like they never have a good time. Emma did say she talked to him for us, though. Here's hoping that went well. In any case, it sounds like he's going to keep us on our toes. Just like everyone else. That's why I know you're ready. I know I can leave Trilogy in the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. No, that's right, Sam Riegel. Well, I don't know how to do Sam Riegel. I've never actually tried. Mr. Wright is putting his faith in me. I can't let him down now. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine! There he goes again. It's almost like he's chanting a prayer. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine! If you say so, Apollo. The trial will start momentarily. Is the defense ready? Yes, we're fine! We're ready to go. Trilogy's fate and the fate of the agency rests on this trial. You're right, it's about the, that's a very particular version of Sam Riegel. To the advertising gods, yes, love to see it. This is injustice. If ever there was a time to shine, it's now. I'm Phoenix. No, I don't know. I have to actually listen to it. April 28th, 9:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 6. Because courtroom number 4 is probably still blown to smithereens and or. Hi, Monica. Ooh ooh. Because we're still doing fucking Monokuma. Because now we have the judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Trilogy Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution. Ads for the ad god. Ads for the ad god. Sir, hold on, I can talk, I promise. Sir, your celestial robe is flowing quite elegantly. Where's the wind coming from? Wait, hold on. Oh, it's just constantly twirling. Interesting. Sir, how do you do that? Do you just have, like, some wires going through the robe that, like, twist on their own? Prosecutor said money. 1,000 pardons. Oh, right, he's met Mercer. It was rude of me to keep you waiting. I was praying for the victim. Oh, praying, yes. Yes, I see. You're a Koreanist monk, correct, prosecutor? Yes, that is correct. I am but a lowly monk from the kingdom of Karain. I beg in advance for the forgiveness and kind patience of everyone here in this court. I am unfamiliar with the proceedings of this country and may make many blunders. He seems like such a gentle-mannered soul, doesn't he? Don't trust it. I don't trust it. There's not a single prosecutor in this series that I trust. On first meeting. On first meeting. I wonder if Emma had a chance to talk with him about Trilogy. Now then, Prosecutor Sodmani, your opening statement if you would. Certainly. In the name of the Holy Mother, I vow to guide the victim's soul to a land of eternal peace known as the Twilight Realm. Now, let the last rites of the victim begin. Nahuda Sodmani. He's really been making a name for himself apparently, but that nickname, Last Rites Prosecutor, I wonder how that will come into play today. Now, here's a really interesting question. Why are you not the chief prosecutor in Karain? And it's that fucking dickhead. Pain. Oh, that's a lot. The incident took place in the middle of a spectacular magic show. The accused performed a magic trick in which she thrust a sword into a coffin. A coffin from which the body of the victim then spilled out, dead from a fatal stabbing. The victim's name was Manov Mystery, otherwise known as the Great Mysterious. His blood was found on the sword that was used during the magic trick. I'll shoot. So his death was just an unfortunate accident? It is only natural for one to assume as such, Your Honor. However, it was no mere accident, but rather a homicide. The prosecution's position is thus, that this was a murder made to look like an accident. Hi, Bye Beast! Hello, hello, welcome. I see. And you believe this crime was committed by the defendant? After a thorough consideration of all possible scenarios, I, unfortunately, had no other choice but to conclude as much. So that's how it's going to be, huh? I guess Emma couldn't convince him after all. Very well, and now let us hear from the defense. Naturally, we maintain the defendant is innocent, Your Honor. If the defense wouldn't mind, could you please explain your reasoning? My reasoning? Well, I would have to say that my main reason is because I believe in the defendant. I see. So you find it difficult to come up with anything more concrete than that, do you? What a fine demonstration of the fact that you are indeed a lawyer of putrid mind. Wow, I love that the music stopped. Really kind of punctuates the fact that this dude's gonna be an asshole. But this is Ace Attorney, what else is new? Putrid mind? Prosecutor Sudmuddy. Excuse me, but I don't... Thank you for saying that so I didn't have to. Hi, Fluffy. If you don't mind my asking, Prosecutor, what was that you were just chanting? A sutra of the Holy Mother that guides those of tainted soul toward enlightenment. It is a Karainist incantation to awaken the foolish from their fruitless slumber. Fitting for a lawyer who indulges in such fancy as the innocence of the accused. Hi, welcome to Everywhere That's Not Kurain. I see. So basically you're asking the defense to get real? I believe that is what the kids are saying these days. Get real. Yes, my grandson has said that to me a number of times. Allow me to say these few words, defense. It is my duty as monk to punish sinners, and to guide victim souls to the twilight realm. Should you show repentance and admit to the accused guilt now, no harm will come to you. Oh no, this... Hey, dickhead, we ain't got that fucking that attorney clause thing, culpability act here. But, should you interfere with my sacred last rites for the victim, then I shall cast you down into the pit of hell along with Trucy Wright. Wait just 1 minute here. Putrid? Pit of hell? Is that any way to address someone in a court of law? Prosecutor Sudmuddy, that may be the way you conduct trials in Kurain, but I would appreciate it if you would refrain from such charged language here. Your Honor, that was but a Kurainist sermon for those who have strayed from the path. Harsh words are often necessary to admonish contemptible deviant who cannot see reason. Oh, I see. I didn't realize. Hey, that's no excuse to be an asshole. I guess they really do hate defense attorneys in Kurain, huh? Even still, that was way, way over the top as far as verbal abuse goes. It's like, hi, okay, so basically, I'm gonna try to make this not too real. If I went up to someone and basically just, no, there's no way I can make this not sound really, really bad and like too real. Just going up to someone and be like, hey, you're going to hell for this, that, and the other reason. And it's like, what the fuck? That's fucked up, man. You can't just say that to me. And they're just like, sorry, it's my religion. I'm perfectly capable of saying that to you. It's like, oh, that's okay then. You can talk shit to me all you want. No, fuck you. You can see why I had trouble trying to think of a good example that wasn't, again, too real. And the trial's only just begun. Well, in the defense, I suppose the way a prosecutor does things varies by country. Why don't we look at this as a cross-cultural exchange and try to be open-minded about it? Can you ask him to be open-minded? What? Bailiff, please bring in the first witness. Oh, she's not happy. Uh-oh. I thought she'd said goodbye to the snackoos. But now they're in 3D. Detective Sky, the courtroom is no place for gorging yourself. What's wrong with having a little snack? Girl's gotta eat, right? She, seems a little stressed out. Detective Scar, your testimony, please. Yeah, about that. I just want to state for the record that I believe Trilogy Wright is innocent. I'm sorry? Detective Sky, this path you seek to follow is misguided. Giving the wrongdoer false hope will only deepen her despair in the end. But let it go and move on. Acts which go against your duty will earn you divine punishment from the Holy Mother. I don't follow your religion? Your God can smite me down all they want? If she wants to smite me down, she can do it right now. I'm waiting. I almost fell out of my chair. Was that the smiting? Was me nearly, like... Well, actually, I didn't even almost fall out of my chair. It's just one of that thing when you lean back in a reclining chair a bit. You know, and it just goes a little bit more suddenly than you want. There, I have been smited. Oh. Fine. I don't know about the divine part, but I get the punishment bit loud and clear. I guess Emma got assigned tons of paperwork or something for sticking up for Trilogy. She and Prosecutor Sadmati don't seem to get along very well, do they? Shall we continue? The prosecution contends that the accused had a clear motive. The evidence, if you would, Detective Sky. Biscuit, how you doing, buddy? Okay. Alright. Please take a look at this poster. It's a Troop Grammary poster from 13 years ago. Is it just me, or is it a little different from the one in Miss Wright's dressing room? Oh, this is a revised version of that poster. This one says cancelled under Mr. Hughes. That's right. Mr. Hughes left the troop after the first version of the poster was printed. Take a look at Mr. Hughes' right forearm, near his elbow. See the big scar there? He apparently got that when he made a mistake while practicing a magic trick. Ouch, that's quite a scar. Because the accident... I can talk. Because of the accident, Magnifique Grammary concluded Mr. Hughes was too unskilled. Just before the show was to open, Magnifique announced Mr. Hughes wouldn't be appearing. But in defiance of Magnifique's decision, Mr. Hughes tried to go on stage anyway. This, in turn, caused Magnifique to oust Mr. Hughes from the troupe on the spot. He kicked Mr. Hughes out? Well, that seems rather extreme. Did he really have to go that... I mean, he did try to go up on stage in a situation where he was not... Where he was basically not allowed... Where he's told not to, and that can mess up a trick. Real hard. When it came to magic, Troop Grammary was so passionate. Should I say extreme about it, that it caused problems for them from time to time. Yes, they even caused this court a mountain of trouble with their extreme antics. Several times. And now, the troop's successor has committed a murder. It seems the troop's rare talent was inherited by the right person after all. A putrid talent for criminality. I hate you. You stop talking about this girl like that? Or are we gonna throw hands? And if the judge wants to say, you can't do that, I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, I thought we were all about religious freedom here. My religion says, fuck you. I ascribe to the religion of don't be a fucking dickhead. Objection! Exactly! You sound rather extreme yourself, prosecutor. Criminals with impure souls do not deserve sympathy, Your Honor. Ahem. As I was saying, after his expulsion, Mr. Hughes apparently went on to hold a grudge against the troop. He would tell those close to him, I will get my revenge on Troop Grammary someday. Revenge, That certainly sounds antagonistic. And then his chance for revenge finally came. If you would be so kind, Detective Sky. I guess I don't have a choice, do I? The victim planned to get his revenge on Troop Grammary during Trilogy's magic show. Mr. Hughes was going to first steal the Grammary notebook from the defendant. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did, in fact, steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets. Allegedly! I feel like we should just say he ended up dead before that. Like, this is a little bit too active. Where's that passive voice that you're supposed to have? By the time the accused had discovered the notebook's theft, it was too late. Her only option was to kill Mr. Rios and make it look like an accident. That feels a bit extreme.
Objection!
Objection! That's nothing but conjecture.
Objection.
The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFan, gave the police a statement. She testified that just before the start of the show, Mr. Rios said, "I'm going to reveal all of Troupe Grammary's secrets on stage today." What? Well, that isn't exactly a great starting point for a rebuttal, is it? Telling me. Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense. Oh, and what's that? Where did the butterfly come from? Let it go and move on. Why do I have a sneaking suspicion that somewhere in your dark history that you most certainly have, someone told you to let it go and move on when someone that you loved was killed? Possibly a defense attorney who was killed as part of the Defense Culpability Act? Excuse me? Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. See, this is why lawyers have a bad rap. No, everyone deserves a lawyer, fuck you. One possessed of an unclean soul will burn in the flames of hell, and then be ever burdened with that sin in the next life. I'm sorry, I don't ascribe to your religion. I don't believe in hell. Or reincarnation. What the fuck do you have to say to that, bitch? I don't believe in that sort of thing. Besides, I have no intention of giving up. Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see his breakdown, because the prosecutors always have their own third act breakdown, and I'm so excited. Is it a skill issue? Yeah, you see, everyone actually gets it wrong. It's not that sinners go to hell. It's that you have to go to when you go up to the pearly gates, you have to fist fight St. Peter, and it's not about winning or losing. You just have to have a good time. That's it. If you can give him a good match, he'll let you into heaven. All actions have consequences, and yours will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life. Stink bug? Now then, Mr. Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. Why the fuck is it? Okay. It's almost like, why does anyone ever choose to be a defense lawyer in this world? But I'm like, they're so necessary. Like, on the one hand, you just get the worst verbal abuse ever from everyone all the time. But then on the other hand, it's just like, yeah, you kind of need to do it because people keep giving you shit. Like, someone's got to do it. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, that's a new way. Oh, because back in Kurain, it was the spirits. Or the Magatama or something. Now it's our attorney's badge. Where every game before this, it was just the regular green meter. Okay, Mr. Rios was going to first steal the grammary notebook, which he did. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And while he did, in fact, steal the notebook, this is, once again, conjecture.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was murder? Beats me. What? The basis beats me? You'll have to ask Prosecutor Submati over there, because he hasn't told me his reasoning either. Detective Sky, your feeding of information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. The bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge upon you in your next life. But even before that, it may impinge upon your job in the form of a transfer. Please, don't get me kicked out of the forensics unit. Anything but that. Or Emma. She's really been risking everything for us. Well, Prosecutor Sadmati, what are your grounds for claiming homicide? It was the luminous tape in the understage passage. I realized that it had been moved. Moved so that Mr. Reeves would climb up into the downstage coffin by mistake. What? Mr. Reeves, who is waiting in the understage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder shown here on the left. He was to climb up into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area. After being turned into a stuffed dragon in Act 1, Mr. Reeves was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin. But the luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage itself by mistake. The very same coffin the accused thrust his sword into. Once again, was there any blood on the coffin, on the floor? And you have proof that it was my client who moved the tape? But of course, Detective Sky. Oh, that's right. I identified the defendant's fingerprints on the luminous tape. You what? He actually had proof? Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on? Absolutely not. Detective, please add the information about the prints on the tape to your testimony. But she was wearing gloves. I don't know if you know this. From on top. But Trucy's wearing gloves.
Objection!
Alright, I feel like that should have been... accurate. Just like, hey, here's some proof that she was wearing gloves the whole time and wouldn't have left fingerprints. Right, I'm gonna go and move on. No, my attorney's badge. Why did you burn it on? Okay, hold on. Fine, we'll press her. What made you think to check the luminous tape for prints? Well, I bet it was detective's intuition. I dusted not just the tape, but just about everywhere for fingerprints. Oh? I dusted pretty much every single surface in the theater. I mean, it was so nice to be able to dust for prints without anybody getting mad at me. It's great that you're enthusiastic, Emma, but there is such a thing as too enthusiastic. The tape was moved to guide Mr. Reeves into the coffin that was downstage. And that's true, it does sound like a murder rather than an accident. It certainly doesn't help that Trucy's prints are on the tape. I wish I knew what sound would even be appropriate to make in this situation. Okay, so I know what line it is. It has to be that one. But where's the evidence that she was wearing gloves, darn it? Prints on the coffin lid. Yeah, we have those. Trucy, oh!
Objection!
I'm sorry, Detective Sky, but there's a flaw in your testimony. Oh, really? The prosecution is claiming that Miss Wright moved the understage tape during the show in order to guide the victim into the coffin downstage. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time. It doesn't. Please consider the fingerprinting results of the main coffin, which shows that not one of my client's fingerprints were found on or in it. That's true. We didn't find any of her prints on that coffin. I think you realize what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Miss Wright left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Because she was wearing gloves during the show. In fact, she was wearing gloves 24/7. I think she sleeps with them. I don't know how her prints ever get on anything. She never takes them off. I once saw her coming in, like, she was, like, you know, in loungewear after taking a shower one day, and she was still wearing the gloves. She must have left a print sometime before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecutor's investigation was insufficient. Oh my. But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that.
Well, Prosecutor Sodmuddy, if the defense's argument is true, then you have no evidence the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim.
I see. Apparently, the defense is more intelligent than I had thought. More than a stink bug, at any rate. Come on, you can bump me up at least to a stag beetle now, can't you? Would that really be any better? Of course! Way better! Stag beetles are cool with those huge mandibles of theirs. If the defense wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle, then answer me this question. Alright, shoot. Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim still climbed the ladder, using the tape as a guide. And into the coffin on the stage. The accused then thrust his sword into said coffin with the victim in it.
But what you're saying is, the fact remains that the victim was stabbed to death, right?
Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of this case. If the accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose, then it means the victim's death could have been accidental, which is the thing that y'all were kind of originally going for. And once again, there's no blood on the coffin anywhere. If he was stabbed right then and there, there'd be blood all over the place. Like, if you die from a stab wound, there's gonna be blood where you were stabbed. Like, on the floor. And like, if it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue that it was involuntary manslaughter.
I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could plead extenuating circumstances.
Here's the other thing. That's not how court works. You don't go in and change the charge halfway through. You say the charge, and that's it. It's why oftentimes people go for a manslaughter charge instead of a murder charge, even though a murder charge is possible, because it's harder to prove. But once you say that it's murder, you can't then go dial it back to involuntary manslaughter. It don't work that way.
The severity of the crime could be mitigated.
Defense, if you believe the accused did not murder the victim, then do you argue that it was an accident? This is it. The all-important question. The defense argues that Mr. Reduth... Here's the thing. I'm going to argue it was murder. But not truces. The defense argues that Mr. Reese's death was... The defense maintains that the defendant is entirely innocent. We believe that it wasn't an accident, but murder. And what's more, we believe it was committed by a third party. A third party? As in the true culprit is someone else? Oh, that is quite a brazen claim to make, and one wholly without grounds. Your voice is as loud as your suit, and your mind echoes just as loudly in emptiness. Surely you were but a loud red pepper in your previous life. I've been demoted to a vegetable? Wow, I didn't know a person could be reincarnated as a non-sentient plant. Debatable. In any case, I do have grounds to make this claim. Let us hear this reasoning of yours, then. Alright, but before I give it, there is one question that we need to address. If the victim was killed by some third party, then the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin wasn't the cause of death. If that's the case, then how did we wind up with a dead body inside the coffin?
A very good question. Now let's hear your opinion, Mr. Justice. How did the victim's body wind up inside the coffin?
What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? In other words, what if the victim was already dead in the coffin from the get-go?
Oh, I see. In that case, the defendant's sword wouldn't have been the cause of death. How do you respond, Prosecutor Sodmuddy?
That is the third time.
The third time of what?
Yeah. Was this necessary? How did you do that? The heck is this? What the fuck is this Sung Wukong, Inuyasha ass, fucking migraine headpiece. What do you think you're doing? Even the merciful Holy Mother loses patience if she is struck 3 times. Hey, this isn't how court works here. Stop that. Since you never learn, you needed to be punished. Why don't you let me worry about what I don't need and don't need? It is what you deserve for interfering with my sacred last rites for the victim. We're not in... You are a brainless lawyer chasing phantoms. You know nothing. Let this humble servant of the Holy Mother give you an edifying sermon. A sermon? Now? There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Koreanism. A cornered frog will swallow even a snake. Huh?
A cornered lawyer has unexpectedly struck back hard against the prosecution. Did I get it right?
No, for I am not done with my sermon. And yet the frog still dies, its belly bitten and torn from within.
That's great.
In this case, you are that frog, defense.
What exactly is your point, anyway?
Let us assume for a moment that the victim was killed under the stage. Who then had the opportunity to do so during the show?
Let's see. The people in the show were...
Bonnie de Femme, the victim Mr. Rius, and Trilogy Wright. Bonnie de Femme was on stage throughout the entire show. Are we still going with the idea that there's 2 of her, and that she's actually a twin?
As easily confirmed by the footage from the show.
Which leaves us with only one suspect, Trilogy Wright. Now do you see? The accused killed Mr. Rius as he waited on standby in the understage passage, and then placed his dead body in the coffin above, thus making the murder look like an accident.
No!
O great and merciful Holy Mother, thus another putrid mind has been guided toward enlightenment.
Ugh, I can't believe I swallowed his trick question whole.
Hey, yeah, remember when we were told very specifically that he likes to ask leading questions to kind of get you to say the right thing? Hi, Athena, thank you for helping us and actually being the only smart person in the room. Sorry, but I have to raise an objection here.
Athena, what are you...
There's something I want to point out, Apollo. And who might you be? You strike me as a mere child in countenance.
Rude! Rude!
She's only 6 years younger than you. I may be young, but I have an attorney's badge just the same. And you would contribute to this discussion in that capacity? I most certainly would! Okay, are you being sexist or are you just being ageist? Because once again, either way, I still want to smack you. You just argue that the defendant killed the victim under the stage. But let me remind you that Miss Wright... Let me remind you that Miss Wright is a girl. Clearly. Surely you didn't raise an objection simply to point out such an obvious fact. Your Honor, please send for this little child's guardian to come take her home. Prosecutor Blackquill! Prosecutor Blackquill, can you come take a look at this guy and cut his head off? Thank you. I'm not done with my sermon! You don't need to talk like Prosecutor Sanmari, you know. Listen, if the victim was killed in the understage passage, then his body would then have to be hauled up to the stage, right? However, Miss Wright is a young girl, and a pretty petite one at that. She couldn't possibly have hefted that large body up and put it in a coffin.
Well, that's true. It does seem like it would be a rather difficult task for the defendant. I don't think even I could do it.
What do you think of that, prosecutor? Who's the child now? In my religion, the priestesses of Kiranism are revered as the pillars of our beliefs. So I naturally hold nothing but deep respect for women. I also think highly of the female perspective. There's the man who called this fair maiden a little child. Who's a fair maiden? Apollo, don't. I agree that your point is worth discussing, defense. How indeed was the dead body raised up into the coffin? By the accused, Trilogy Wright, that is. You're committed to pointing the finger at her no matter what, huh? Then you explain how that even be possible. But of course. There was a way for even a small creature like her to raise the victim's body up. Huh? Oh, wait, you really can explain it? I foresaw that our arguments would come to this, so I've prepared a witness.
Well, well, I admire your readiness, prosecutor.
It is really not that difficult when one can read the ultimate outcome of any trial. He couldn't have really predicted that things would turn out like this, could he? It's pretty hard to believe. Excuse me, but may I step down now?
Yes, I suppose you may.
One moment, Detective Sky. I'm sorry for, the way I handled all this. You did a fine job, Detective. Your testimony was invaluable. It was? Yes, you served well as a detective and did not allow your personal feelings to interfere. You overcame the conflicted emotions you felt and performed your duty admirably. You will be rewarded for your fine work. Oh, thank you. I hope we can work together again in the future. Emma seems bewildered by the unexpected praise. I guess he's a pretty nice person, like they say, as long as you're not up against him.
Now then, let us call the next witness.
Bonnie DeFam. Once again, her hat's always on the side and her ears always look like that, right? Yes, as far as I'm aware. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. It's very nice to meet all of you. I'm a lagomorphing illusionist from the land of fairy tales, Bonnie DeFam. I can't wait to do some magic tricks for all of you. Please, witness. There's a time and a place for all things, including magic. Oh, but it would be okay if I do just a little magic, right? Come on, pretty please. Look, everybody is waiting. That's my chance to shine. That is your second time. My second time doing what? There will be no further warnings. You should know that from our preparatory meeting, correct? Is no one exempt from His Holiness's rosary of suffering? I feel like that should be contempt of court. Or threatening the witness. Or something. Leading the witness?
May we have your testimony, witness, once you've recovered from your disappointment.
Well, as a huge fan of Trucy's, I don't really want to testify against her. But I guess I have to, don't I? As a huge fan of Trucy's, huh? I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that Trucy right. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves. See, okay, this is the thing. Exactly, same hat, same ears, same everything. Same person. Or at least, so far looks to be that way. Sure, you're a real fan, alright. Destroying Trucy, you mean? Like, as far as I can tell, it's the exact same character model. The only difference is personality. And I don't know if that's an act, or there's two of them. It would certainly explain things. But this is Ace Attorney, anything can happen. I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Rios. I guess it's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body up if she used a stage lift. Is it possible? Could Trucy really have... If Trucy did use a stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift number 2. I was on stage for the entire show, by the way. You were on stage the whole time? And you're sure about that? There is no question. The entire audience could testify to that fact. What's more, she is shown clearly in the TV show footage as well. I don't... Maybe... Like, I considered that, but it still wouldn't answer the questions of the teleportation and the, Like, it would answer the personality shift, but it wouldn't answer the teleportation or if there really was a third party that killed him and brought him up into the coffin. I couldn't possibly have killed Mr. Rios, not little old me. Also, anyone who says little old me is generally hiding something. Therefore, the only person who could have killed the victim on the stage is the accused. Furthermore, by using a stage lift, even a petite young lady could have raised the body up to the stage without difficulty. I don't know if they'd be able to, like, cram it into the hole that is underneath the coffin, though. Like, to be Excuse me. You've got to be kidding me.
Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Wait, no. Except for the stage lift, we tried it ourselves. That shit ain't going up and down with only one person. Okay, hold on. Is it possible? Could she really have? If she did use the stage lift, I think she must have used... Okay, let me take a look at my evidence real fast. Fire bucket, show script, contract, choose a statement, clipboard that has the carbon paper. Here we go. Had to move out of the way during the show since it was already all the way up.
Objection!
What do you mean, no? No, I'm right, because you... I found it. Fine, I'll be more careful. Fuck me. If she's...
Hold it!
Stage lift number 2. You mean the stage lift shown here on the left? That's right. With a stage lift, I think even a small girl could easily lift a dead body up to the stage.
And so that makes her the murderer, in your opinion?
Of course not. I believe in Trucy. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of hers.
Oh, brother. How long is she gonna keep this act up? Defense, what position was stage lift number 2 in after the show? Let's see. If I recall, it was in the fully raised position.
Ah!
And the reason why it was fully raised is because the accused used it to lift the victim's body, wouldn't you agree? Feel free to slowly mull it over while you roast over the flames of hell, you evil red pepper!
I'm gonna start calling people red pepper. So now I'm also evil? That's my new insult. Biscuit, are you a little pepper? You can be a bit spicy sometimes. Oh, with the chomp chomp.
Hold it!
I don't know if this is true.
You didn't have a single spare moment to slip down to the understage passage?
Huh? Don't tell me you suspect me now.
I'm just trying to do my job by fully examining your alibi. Depending on how solid it is, I might have to suspect you, yes.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't spit on my head and tell me it's raining, lawyer boy. I'm right there in the footage. Are you too much of an idiot to see?
Well, Mr. Pham, are you feeling alright? You seem suddenly different.
Oh, oops. Where did that come from, right? Knew it. It's not split personality. It's just her. I seem to have snapped there for a second, didn't I?
Didn't just snap. You broke character just now.
In any case, I was on stage the whole time performing magic. I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling and flawless performance. Hold on. The problem is, this doesn't go back far enough. I want to see the footage from when she teleported.
Flawless? That's odd considering what you told me. You said that you'd made a mistake with where you positioned Mr. Hat. Mr. Pham, to what is the defense referring?
Well, I made a little mistake on stage. I was in charge of operating Mr. Hat, you see. And again, here's the thing. This is the big question. How are you operating Mr. Hat and being on stage at the same time? Why is no one asking this question? Why are they not asking this question? According to the script, I was supposed to place him to the left of the coffin. But I flubbed it up and made him stand to the right of the coffin instead.
And because of that mistake, Trucy had to move the stage lifts around.
I feel really bad about messing Trucy up like that with my goof. Can I please ask that question? Again, how is this not a bigger question? How are you operating Mr. Hat and being on stage at the same time? Hello? Because, like, it don't make any sense. Watch. I don't necessarily see how she's moving him around. Because she's not doing anything. I'm seeing inconsistencies. Now do you know who the real killer is? Come on, Gramps. Don't just sit there. Hand down your ruling pronto. Do it quick before you keel over up there.
I beg your pardon.
Oops. Oh, what's gotten into me? I'm so sorry. Give her another 5 minutes before she tears off that mask.
Well, Defense, are you ready to let it all go now?
Are you gonna start singing Frozen at me at some point during all this? Of course not. I'll never give up.
I see. I suppose this too is fate. The sacred scriptures of Kiranism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you, who struggles ceaselessly against his fate, Mapul Borjig seems the most appropriate.
People boil what? Oh wait, that's Kernese.
Krainese. What sort of terrible place is Purpur Borjig? A place where the more one struggles, the further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, a ferocious beast awaits.
I'm sorry, it's a sin to struggle now?
I think it has something akin to an antlion sandpit trap.
Are you telling me that struggling and fighting and like trying and all that is a bad thing now? That's a sin that you go to hell for and get punished for? Damn, never do anything that you're not naturally gifted at, I guess. And never make a mistake in your life, I suppose. Always do everything perfectly.
Oh, there's one of those in my backyard.
Wow, Keranism hell is closer to home than I thought. That's really funny.
Now then, it would appear that the witness testimony supports the prosecution's claims. That the defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim on the stage.
How are we supposed to get out of this jam? Hey, Apollo, if you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use analytical psychology. You mean, I heard some discord in Bonnie's voice while she was testifying. See, Wench is picking up on the noise in her heart too. Oh, that's right. This is our second trial, but it's time for more tutorials.
We love a good tutorial, don't we, folks?
That's right. Athena can hear things others can't with her super sensitive hearing. You can hear the emotions people suppress as a kind of noise or discord in their voices. All right, Athena, let's give it a try. You got it.
Hold it!
Hold it! Your Honor, I'm afraid that our witness, Miss DeFam, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident.
She is?
Yes, well, with that terrible death on stage, and her beloved Trucy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she's unfit to testify. What?
Oh, I've heard of that. Oh, what is it called? Postal stress disorder, right? It's where a person becomes uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere.
That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD.
Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she were a different person.
Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness. Hold it! Ha! Therapy? You don't know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. I risked my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half. Oops. Boy, do I have to watch my temper, don't I? Bye, Bunny Rabbit. We love you.
Miss Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady.
And what exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice? This child has a PhD in psychology and law. With her super sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear a witness's true emotions. Simply from tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what a person is feeling. I can even pick out feelings that a witness is trying to suppress or hide. Which projects the emotions I hear into the mood matrix where I can analyze them.
It sounds like some sort of spurious devilry. Though I find it hard to believe, I must ask. How do emotions constitute evidence? While I won't say that emotions can be taken as evidence per se, I have seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try. I see. If you are in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness.
How disturb you? Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Sadmati. Apollo, you remember how to conduct a therapy session, right? You want me to lead the session? Of course! You're the lead on this case, after all. Fair enough, but do I need a refresher? Nah, I'm good. I didn't go to psychology school, but this is fine. I think I still remember from the last time, so let's get right to it. Okie dokie. You ready, Widget? Let's do this! Let's cleanse this rabbit of her sins. One who killed Miss Shock and Sadness. I was on stage at the time. That terrible mistake. My stupid flub caused Truffy so much trouble. I feel so bad about it. I feel so bad about it. Uh-huh. Terrible. Look how terrible she feels. Just look at it.
Got it!
I have to say, Mr. Pham, you certainly are a strange one. Even though you said I feel so bad about it, it seems you were feeling happy about it. Ow! I think you can guess why you were feeling happy. It must be because you messed Trucy up. I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I? You gotta be kidding me. Why would I be happy I messed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of hers. Because we saw you. I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that Trucy Wright. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves. You said you hated Trucy Wright, and you were glad she was in trouble, and even how it was what she deserved. It looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Are you hurting your hand doing that? Apollo, the noise level dropped. Now if you can get it down to 0%. Well, Mrs. Pham, are you ready to confess how you really feel? What? What do you mean? I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. I'm a rookie magician working hard to be just like my idol Trucy. That's the character I'm supposed to be. Keep that up, Mr. Pham, and you're going to have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are. Who I really am? The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I can hear them, two distinct voices battling inside you. Shut your pie hole, you know-nothing know-it-all! I mean, you mustn't say things like that or I might get flustered. Mr. Pham, how long do you insist on maintaining this wolf in sheep's clothing act? We can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Set the wild beast inside you free! Waiting. Don't make me laugh. You don't know a dang thing about me. You want to see who I really am? Fine. Take a good look. Yo? She's actually a vampire? What in the world? Sheep's clothing. Hey, you've got it all wrong. It's a rabbit suit I've got on. And I'm not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bat with fangs and wings. I think we just opened Pandora's box. I'm finally done with that goody two-shoes cottontail act. I feel free as a bat. Doing an evil laugh is fun. Y'all should do it. Y'all should give it a try. Give me your best evil laugh.
Defense, your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse from the looks of it.
There's a perfectly good explanation for this. Isn't there, Miss Ikes? Abby thinks I created a monster. We blew it! How was that? Hey, you! Lobster boy! Ooh, me? You think I'm glad Trucy is in trouble? That I think she's getting her just desserts? Well, guess what? You're right! Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm? Oh, the bat is out of the bag now. That mistake of mine was a work of art. Thanks to my goof, poor little Trucy had to do all that hard physical labor. When you say hard physical labor, what are you referring to? Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both of those huge stage lifts. Oh, they must have been so heavy. What a riot. Hi, Biscuit. I'm sorry that your mom has gone crazy. That's strange. Athena, could you please add that last statement to Bonnie's testimony? Alright, I'll update the mood matrix with the new info. Hey, Apollo, now there's a new inconsistency in the testimony. Yeah, she finally slipped up. So what do I need to do now? Well, from this point onward, you just do what you do best. Find the contradiction in the testimony and present evidence to refute it. Alright, I've got you now, Bonnie Defame. Defame? Do you think it's defame or defame? Hey, Biscuit, would you like Uppy? There is a cat in my lap, despite all my evil laughter. Wait, hold on! There's a cat in my lap. You know what I have to do? No, Biscuit! I haven't done my evil laugh yet. Hold on, come back. I need to do the evil laugh while petting a cat. It's a Supervillain 101. Presentation. Need more tea. Biscuit wasn't technically in my lap, but I was petting him at the time. It's gonna count. Even she could move the body with that lift. I was on stage at the time, but that terrible mistake. Bonnie of Fame? Yeah. Hi, Punisher. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. Yes? Okay, so now there's an inconsistency in her testimony somewhere. I just need to find out... I still don't know how you're controlling Mr. Hat from on stage, but okay. Now I'm, Hi, Biscuit. What's up? Do you want back in my lap again? While I try and figure out what the correct response here is. Biscuit, don't play with that. Don't play with that wire. Here you go.
Objection!
Nope, not that. Mr. Fam, I believe your statement... Nope, that's too generic. Wrong. I messed up, Biscuit. All that evil laughter really kind of drains you some energy, don't it? Don't it, Biscuit? Don't you, little buddy? Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lift. Let me think. There's an inconsistency in her testimony. I'm thinking. I don't know what the inconsistency is.
Objection!
That wasn't it. No. No. Okay, think about it like this. When I was a kid, and probably when a lot of you were kids in school, you had certain kids who could do whatever the fuck they wanted and never get in trouble. But the one time that you fight back in some way, shape, or form, suddenly you're the one in trouble, and the teachers all do something about it and say something and blah 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 and all that bullshit. It's kind of like that. I feel like it's one of these two. She ended up having to move the stage lifts. You watched the bully who got away with things get thrown through a wall? That's really funny. I shouldn't say that's really funny. I bet that was really funny for you at the time. Okay, let me think. I'm thinking, I am super thinking. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. I already tried this, right? Yes, I did. This doesn't work. I don't know why I'm drawing such a blank on this one. What's the inconsistency? Okay, even she can move the body with that lift. She's the one who killed Mr. Ryus. I was on stage with that terrible mistake. You know what? Serves her right. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. Sitting next to you, tearing up and throwing... Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds correct. And bullshit, but correct. Contract, choose your statement. What the hell is the inconsistency here, then?
Objection!
Now I don't even remember what the hell I've already objected to at this point. I don't like having to brute force things sometimes, but I might be a bit dull at the moment.
Objection!
No? Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe the inconsistency is literally in the serves her right line.
Objection!
No, she didn't deserve it because she was nice and she didn't tell anyone. Okay, that's not helpful. Why is this so difficult? Biscuit, what am I doing wrong? Biscuit, help me. Causes death, shock as a result of being stabbed through the back with a sharp blade. There's the show footage. Had to move one of the shows since it was already all the way up. Choosing to move the stage list. But we've already tried that, right? We've already tried the stage list number 2 with this one. Then what's the contradiction here?
Objection!
Christ, thank you. I thought I did that one already. That doesn't make sense. No opposite of this girl's location. As a result, had to quickly move. She never told anyone. What? So you think I'm crazy now? No, that's not the point I was trying to make. But I don't hear you denying it. Mr. Fame, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage list. That's right. And I still say that's just what she deserved. But how did you know? How did you know Miss Wright moved the stage lifts? Huh? According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone that she had done so. What? How could you possibly have known what she had done unless you saw her? You saw Miss Wright moving the lifts in the understage passage, didn't you? Okay, maybe there are 2 of them, and they're both assholes. Or there's only one asshole, and she just pretends to be her sister? So she did that on purpose? Yeah, this really only works if there's 2 of them. This doesn't make sense. She did it, Apollo. Noise levels are at 0%. But, Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean... Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Pham herself was under the stage where the victim was killed. And I hardly need to tell the court what that means. You are one artful liar, Mr. Pham, and one spectacular suspect. I'm not crazy, Biscuit, I promise. I'm just doing voices. While I touch your little toe beans. Why, you shiny red lobster boy! You're saying I killed Mr. Rius? I'm saying that it's a possibility. What's more, I say you had a solid motive to frame my client for the murder as well. My apologies for raining on the defense's merry revelry. But you seem to have forgotten one very important point. Oh, really? The TV footage, as you can clearly see, Mr. Pham was on stage the whole time. The entire audience can bear witness to that fact, including you. Oh, right. You have just taken a long and senseless journey only to return to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understage passage, which means the only one left who could have killed the victim is the accused. Yes, the party's over. Ugh. But Mr. Pham knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, Prosecutor Sudmati? It's quite simple. The accused must have told Mr. Pham about it, but then forgot. Ugh. Ha! Open those useless eyes of yours and take a good look at the footage. If Mr. Pham really was in the understage passage, it would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time. You mean she was in 2 places at once? That does seem to be the only explanation that makes any sense. It may be an explanation, but I'm not so sure about the make sense part. We'll just have to make it make sense. Your Honor, the witness was both on stage and understage at the same time. That is the defense's assertion.
I've heard some illogical things come out of you before, but this is absurd.
I'm sure you'll change your tune once you hear my reasoning, Your Honor.
My gut tells me you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Very well, Mr. Justice. How do you explain how the witness was in two places at once?
There were two bodies, Your Honor. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it?
There were...
Two of them?
I suspected you had a few screws loose, but now I see some are missing altogether. Is there a toolkit in the courtroom, Your Honor? I suppose three screws to the head should righten his putrid brain. Very well. Bailiff, could you...
Hold it! Oh, wait! Please listen to my argument.
Very well. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least give it a listen.
As was argued earlier, Mr. Pham is shown in the footage the whole time. But at the same time, she was also watching Miss Wright in the understage passage. The only possible explanation that there are two Bonnies.
That almost sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor Sodmuddy? This humble servant of the Holy Mother is of the opinion that we should lose no time in replacing the defense's many lost screws.
But, Apollo, it goes against reality itself to say that one person is actually two. We don't have to be bound by reality. After all, we're talking about magic here. So if the Bonnie DeFam in the footage is the real Bonnie, then the Bonnie here on the witness stand, the one who must have been understage, this Bonnie DeFam is our second Bonnie. Look at that reaction. She is? Say we call the one in front of us Bonnie number 2. I believe I have just the piece of evidence to prove that a Miss Bonnie number 2 exists.
Oh, then please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of a Bonnie number 2?
Purely the fact that she was supposed to be controlling Mr. Hat at the same time? Hello? A lot of reasons?
Take that!
What's this?
Also, yeah, the fingerprints! During our investigation, we found a set of unknown prints on the coffin on the stage. These prints were most likely left during the course of the show. But they didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case.
An unknown third party's fingerprints? I was not told of this.
Emma must have kept it from him. So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Mr. Pham, or should I say Bonnie number 2. These are your fingerprints, aren't they?
Tatara! Enough of this foolishness. One person cannot possibly be two. Those fingerprints could have been left, not only during the show, but at any time.
It's not like you to lose your cool like that, Prosecutor Sadmati. And I'm sure you know that exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice?
The issue is who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie DeFam's. But what do they belong to the person standing right in front of us?
Oh, you mean Bonnie number 2 is the second Bonnie? Is that what you're implying? It's preposterous to suggest that those prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other unknown individual.
Prosecutor Sadmati, can you really look at her and still say that? What are you looking at? Take a picture, it'll last longer. I'm sorry, Biscuit.
How could this be?
Never heard of twins in Karain? If we check her prints, I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to the real you belong to you, don't they, Bonnie number 2? I do love that her hair straight up unfurled to be the bat.
Witness, is what the defense has said true?
Fine, I admit it. And the fingerprints are mine.
Does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFam?
What? Ridiculous. We knew it, there are two bodies. We were right. Haha, you love to see it.
Are there really two Bonnies?
Nope, there's only one Bonnie. That's because I'm Betty. Betty the Fame. What? Ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show. gasp in amazement as this logomorphing illusionist performs her teleportation magic. Watch closely. It's showtime! Biscuit. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Betty. Bye, Betty. Hi, Bonnie and Betty. Nice magic trick.
What an amazing trick! The witness has suddenly split into two people.
It's not a trick. No gimmick to it either. We're simply twins.
What?
Twins?
Well, that's how the teleportation trick works.
Ever since our debut, I've had to hide or pretend I'm Bonnie. Oh, cute and sweet and goody-goody. I can't tell you how stressful it's been. And I don't have to hide anymore. That's right. Our days of sneaking around are finally over.
Their cover is blown, but they actually seem pretty happy about it.
So which one of you is the nice Bonnie the fam we met in the dressing room? That would be me.
And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw with the ratings Raja under stage was...
Hey, who are you calling sharp-tongued?
It's all starting to make sense now. So, Mr. Justice, this changes the facts of the case rather dramatically, doesn't it?
It certainly does. During the show, it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time. So Bonnie couldn't have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was under stage, did have the opportunity.
Well, so we now have two suspects.
Wait just a minute there, lobster boy. I didn't do it. That's right. Betty might have a foul mouth, but she'd never kill anybody. Hey, who's got a foul mouth here? Oh, well, speak up, huh?
Hold it. Please save your sibling squabbling for later.
This is so cute, though. This is actually there's something really adorable about this.
Betty, you must have been in the understage passage during the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about the stage list being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there?
Fine, I'll testify. Anything gets you off my back.
Prosecutor Sudmoney, Betty DeFame is ready to testify. What do you say?
Betty, you lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother. Hey, what else can I do? I'm gonna blow her cover and ruin her magic act. Besides, am I gonna go to your Twilight Hell or whatever for being a liar?
You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather, I shall give you a taste of your punishment on this mortal coil in interrogation hell. Now then, Betty DeFame, please explain to this court what exactly you were doing under the stage.
It's true. I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Ryu's was supposed to do? That's right. It's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it, but you didn't. It was in the script, and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident.
Shut up! You're gonna give it away!
Anyway, I was really busy. Yeah, way too busy to have the chance to kill Mr. Ryu's.
Well, that was certainly different.
How's that for flawless testimony and alibi? Our magic is real. It's not a trick or a gimmick.
Oh my, she's floating!
Hey, idiot, you're the one on that side that can actually see her. Okay.
Your Honor. You can see she's being held up from below.
You were supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette.
But
I can't help it. Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out.
Now then, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Yeah, I already know what piece I'm going to say fuck you on. I already know what to do. You had business in the other stage because of the upcoming trick. It was the fire trick. That's right, it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it.
Objection!
Uh-huh. I hate to break this to you, Betty, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. As big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier. Ooh, harsh words. Well, let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick. No one except me, you mean? Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeve. Huh? We do? I told you to keep it zipped.
No, don't fight, you two.
Biscuit, do not bite that. Biscuit, do not bite that cable. I need that cable. That is my microphone cable. Do not bite that.
No, don't. Did you see a flaw in the testimony?
The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust. Oh? You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty? You got me! Be chomping. Biscuit, don't chomp me. I know you're doing it to be playful. I know you want to play, but we're streaming.
Betty the fam, you will explain yourself.
There's nothing to explain. Come on, Betty, we can't hide it any longer. We might as well tell them. Shut up, you can barely take care of yourself. Don't try and tell me what to do. Well, if neither of you will explain, I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is because You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found and the show would then be canceled. Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna yank those lame bangs of yours off. Is that what you want, huh?
Objection!
Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell the truth already. I can't reveal my secrets, I'm a magician.
You have been chasing the shadow of an illusory culprit's defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you have let yourself get carried away.
Exactly. Where's your proof, huh?
And yet, I can see that the witness's taste for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness.
Ugh, deceitful trickery? As your court-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again. But all these questions means you're trying to put me in prison for real. So I'll be behind bars either way.
Does that mean you're admitting your guilt?
Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do. You... Lobster Boy, Cue Ball Geezer, Headcase Brat, Cerberus Monk.
You bald geezer.
Headcase Brat? Really? I'm older than you. Wait, is she? No, she is younger. Because they're 19. Oh no, they're the same age. Benny, calm down. Come on now, deep breaths, deep breaths. Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you. And how did you know the show would be called off before the fire trick? I told you. We can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract.
Contract? What is she talking about?
Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case. Now what?
I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case.
Huh?
Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage. And second, that the witness and the accused are the only two who could have done it.
Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found, and that the magic show would then be called off. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim under stage.
But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some other reason?
Like what?
In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it
Here
did.
we go again.
Yep, it just keeps going, Fluffy. We always gotta deal with asshole prosecutors and witnesses and everyone just ganging up on poor little us and committing perjury.
That, in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion, all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance.
Ow. Planned out.
After deciding to take this case, one second.
Tea good.
After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media in this country. I read the newspaper, old news reports, I even browsed tabloid magazines.
How very industrious of you. I'm impressed.
During this process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended. You two were informed of this plan. By Take-Two TV in advance, correct?
Is that true? Eddie, please, let's tell them now. I can't hold it in anymore. Dang it! Fine, you got us. Everything the prosecutor said is true. The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan. It was all a prank. A big setup planned out in advance. Mr. Reeves showing up dead in the coffin. The set piece falling down. It was all completely scripted. Wait.
It's all a prank?
Wait. Does that mean he's not dead? Is he not actually...
Bonnie, is this really true?
So is he dead or not? Yes, Mr. Hughes was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go. Okay, no, he is really dead. He was in on it too? That's right. He was supposed to show up dead in the coffin. And then the set piece would fall down. Shuzu would be shocked and start to panic. That's how the prank script went. What? What the heck kind of prank is that? But we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Poor Mr. Hughes. I'm so completely lost right now.
Well, Betty and Bonnie, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do.
Alright. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Hi, Dula. Hi, Raiders. Hello. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. Welcome to, this murder was actually a prank, but then actually no, it's real. And also, we have twins. One is nice and the other one is evil. What were you up to, Dula? Hope you were having fun. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully. You'll never hear this kind of thing anywhere else. Biscuit, not right now. Alright, I guess that's fine. After our teleportation trick, I went down under stage. When Mr. Reeves' body appeared from the coffin on stage, it was time for Betty to do her job in the understage passage. Nice. I hope you had I hope they were good tears. I hope they were fun tears. Say hello to Biscuit. Biscuit has been in my lap for a while, but now he's a little bit play bitey. Like, not to the point where it hurts, but he's like, here, have my finger. Have my finger, chew on that for a bit. That's right. I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon set piece. And made it fall down. And just before the dragon fell, I called Trucy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt. After that, the plan was for Mr. Ryus to come back to life in front of a panicked Trucy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That was how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason, he really did turn up dead, so he kind of just stayed on the ground. What kind of sick joke is that? Oh, Biscuit, that's a little bit too hard, buddy.
It sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was trying to do her magic show.
I guess so. I'm sorry, Trucy. Whatever. That was all the ratings Raja's idea anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with.
This is the prank plan script we got from the ratings Raja. Dang it! He made us break our contract! Now we won't get paid!
But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim, and when?
Yes, exactly.
Those are the key questions. If Mr. Ryus was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as a part of the prank, then when he was on the stage, there would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who was also on the stage, may be excluded from our list of suspects.
Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. Ah!
A witness, was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin?
Oh, well, now that we spilled the beans, we might as well show you the video.
Greetings, viewers! It is I, the great Mr. Ryus. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trick. Having snuck through the understage passage undetected, I am now hiding backstage, preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trucy will stab with her rubber sword. And when the coffin opens, ho-ho, I will be in it, acting as though I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? Oh, I can hardly wait.
Wait a second. He's about to hide in the coffin. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Where are the scars, motherfucker? Where are your scars? Where are the scars from your fucking magic? That wasn't Mr. Ryus. That wasn't Mr. Ryus. Where are your scars? Where are your scars? Yours are maybe hidden. Fuck, damn it.
It would seem the threads of karmic destiny have led us to the truth. The victim passed through the understage where Betty the Femme was, and came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mr. Ryus appeared to be backstage when he shot the video we saw.
It appears that way, yes.
And defense, you proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then, what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mr. Ryus entered the coffin.
But he would have to... The only way to enter the coffin would be... Unless he went from behind? Was there a way for him to do that? Because otherwise he would still have to go down up to get into it. Ugh.
Oh! So does that mean... Yes, it is horrible but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. When into the coffin there where Mr. Ryus was hiding, Trucy Wright thrust her blade.
Well, shit. Uh-oh. Ah! See? Told you so.
So are you saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank? It would be an accident if the accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. So let us ask the accused herself. Miss Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank?
What? Tell him, Trucy, you didn't know anything about it, right? Of course I didn't. I didn't know a single thing about it. Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case. You leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence. It looks like some sort of note. That's... I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. Once again, a clipboard with copy paper. Carbon paper, whatever. A carbon copy. At the time, I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now. What's this? Let's see. It says, get the video camera after me, Mr. Ryu's comes tumbling out. Here's a question. Why would you sign it? Like, what's the point? Like, legitimately. Where's the logic here? Why? It is a note signed by the accused, instructing Bonnie to collect Mr. Ryu's video camera from him, it seems. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does. We already know that this is a thing. We already know that this is a thing. What are you talking about? I found it in the dressing room before the show. When I saw it, I realized that Trucy knew about the prank. It does bear her signature, I'll give you that much. It was falsified! Falsified! You can falsify a signature in 1,000...
So the defendant had prior knowledge of the prank?
It would appear so, yes. When she learned about the plan to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage. So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin where the victim stood, chuckling to himself. Is that not what happened, Miss Wright? Of course not! I didn't write or sign that note! Ah, but the handwriting matches yours. All of the evidence and testimony points to you being the culprit. But I didn't do it! It wasn't me! That's not her voice that I normally give her. I don't know why it's so wrong.
Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not?
I can't explain it. I didn't write it, so I don't understand. I didn't kill Mr. Ryus. You have to believe me. Hi, Monica. Thank you for joining us. Like, here's the thing. Can you explain this note? No, I've never seen that note before in my life. How the fuck can I explain it to you? How can I explain something I have absolutely no knowledge of? The silence is deafening. Continue struggling against the threads of your own karma if you wish, accused. Even as you are inescapably caught in the web of fate you spun for yourself. I hate everyone. I hate all of them. Miss Wright, it is time to resign yourself to your fate. No! I didn't do it! Ha! I knew it! That sweet-looking girl, a murderer?
Should have all of us in with that act of hers.
I told you! I knew she was a homicidal little witch from the start! But I didn't do it! I really didn't! Why doesn't anybody believe me? Shut up, you killer! We won't fall for that anymore! This is bad. I hate everyone in this room that's not Apollo and Athena and Trucy.
Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. Give your official ruling and let us offer the victim's soul the last rites it deserves. Very well. I suppose I have no other choice.
Hold it!
This court hereby finds the defendant
Objection!
Trucy Wright. Objection!
God damn you, all of you, fuck God. Hate you people. What is wrong? The defense has an objection. Apollo?
You, even now, you would...
I won't give up, and I refuse to let either of them down. Mr. Wright, who's counting on me, and Trucy, who's put all of her faith in me.
Mr. Justice, the fact that you have raised an objection means that you have evidence with which to refute the prosecution's claim, correct?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Do we really have anything, Apollo? Actually, we do! There's one piece of evidence we can present here.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may proceed.
As we saw in the show footage, there's no question that the defendant thrust the sword into the coffin. The defense doesn't dispute this point. But let us not forget that this was a magic show, filled with tricks and illusions. We can't take everything we see at face value.
So you're saying some sleight of hand was somehow involved?
Yes, the defense contends that the sword the defendant used was not the cause of death. Now, what was it Trucy told me she did just before she thrust the sword into the coffin?
Very well. Let us see your evidence then, Mr. Justice. But remember, you interrupted my verdict to make this claim. You will be severely penalized if I find you are bluffing.
That's fine, Your Honor. This shows that it's possible that the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death. Now, I'm gonna save real fast. I think it's this one. Contains the rubber sword Tracy says she swapped in. Because this is about the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death. Because there's the rubber one right here.
Is that our statement?
She never told, no. Just making sure I'm getting through all my bases before I set this up.
What's this? A sword from the show?
That's right, Your Honor. This rubber sword was in the sword stand under stage. During the trick, Miss Wright was supposed to swap the real sword for a rubber sword. And she told us on record that she remembers very clearly that she did.
I see. So the sword the defendant thrust to the coffin was a rubber sword, was it?
Drumstick ice cream? Thank you, I will take ice cream. No. Thank you. Me looking up to remember what the hell... I remember a drumstick. Not my favorite kind, but I will eat it regardless. If you offer me the ice cream, I shall devour.
But then why was a steel sword found lying on the stage?
Somebody must have put the steel sword there by swapping it with the rubber one. Just after the incident occurred, the dragon set piece fell and the theater was evacuated. The real culprit must have used the resulting chaos to swap the rubber sword for the steel one.
Do you not know when to give up, stinkbug? That is not possible. Blood was found in the coffin hole that the sword was thrust into. It must have been left there when the accused withdrew the sword. This is incontrovertible proof that the sword she used was the steel one.
But that blood could be the result of someone tampering with the crime scene after the fact. After the set piece fell and the audience was cleared out of the theater, there was plenty of time for somebody to plant that blood there.
If the sword the accused used was a rubber one, then when exactly do you propose the victim was killed, given that Mr. Ryus was alive when he entered that coffin?
Objection!
Finding the answer to that question is precisely why we need to continue this trial. And again, how was he stabbed in the back from the side?
Let me express my opinion. By all accounts, it is certainly reasonable to suspect the defendant based on the evidence. But as to the question of whether the sword the defendant used was rubber or steel, I believe further discussion is warranted. I suggest we hear from the defendant herself on this issue.
Very well, Your Honor. Yes, they saved it, somehow. Too close for comfort, but still. Again, not what I thought we were going to use. We have this for a reason. See, here's a question. What if Mr. Ryus tumbled out and was pretending to be dead, and then was killed? What if he wasn't dead until... Excuse me. What if he was actually killed after this? Or not after this, but after the step piece fell? Because, like, it's entirely possible then that he was still alive when he fell out of the coffin. And if that's true, someone could have killed him, and then everyone would think that he died, in or before the coffin because like, oh, he was dead the whole time. It's like, but was he? But was he?
Let's adjourn for a brief 15-minute recess. I advise the prosecution and the defense to use this time to prepare.
If nothing else, I think it's possible. I don't know if that's what happened. I think it's possible. Phew, that was hairy. Tell me about it. We barely made it through by the skin of my teeth. I can't say I'm crazy about that prosecutor's son, Marty, either. You know, with the way he says, let it go and move on, as if it's nothing. Let it go and move on, huh? Who do we think this is? Am I interrupting a secret conclave of villains or something? Oh god, it's you! Why the fuck? Okay, hold on! How the fuck did you get here?
Oh boy, am I interrupting a secret conclave of villains or something? Got your next evil scheme in the works already?
What do you want?
I'll keep making that face, champ, and everybody's gonna change the channel. Look this way, Trucy, now smile for the camera! Let's see those pearly whites. Isn't that what the Grammar Creed tells you to do?
Okay, here's what I would say in this exact moment. Do you know what I would do? Grab camera, smash. No cameras allowed in this room. And maybe punch him in the face.
How does it feel, Trucy? Everybody online can't stop talking about you. They're calling you a real witch out there. Could this be the end of Troop Gramarye?
Go away, you creep! Who let you in here?
Oh, what's this? Something that just charged into frame. It looks like a yellow gorilla or something. Could it be Trucy's pet?
Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff?
Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me.
Uh-huh. What happened to the camera? Just disappeared right before our very eyes. Wait a second. No. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Hold on, hold on. I have a theory. 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 Okay. This image is 13 years old. We remember, if not more, this guy in yellow, dude was an old man when we saw him like a year ago. Mr. Ryus looks exactly the same as he did 13 years ago. But what if he doesn't? What if Mr. Ryus gave up that name, took on a new name, gave someone else the title of Mr. Ryus? You are not Mr. Ryus. You are. Guys, I think that, and that sleight of hand he just did gave away the whole shebang. You do a sleight of hand with the camera that big? Clearly you have some experience in stage magic, and we know that you didn't have the scar on your arm like the real Mr. Ryus. Mr. Retzins, whatever your name is, can you please show us your arm? I've cracked the case, I've solved it, I'm the best, everyone can go home now, we're done. Isn't that right, Biscuit? I've cracked it? My neck, apparently? I've apparently cracked my neck. Oh, apparently I broke everything. Terrifying. Hold on. It didn't solve the murder part? Hold on. I need to fix this. This is terrifying. There we go. That's better. It doesn't solve the murder part? No, not necessarily. But it does solve... it answers a lot of questions that I already had. I already know how this is going to end and how we're going to figure it out. You're right, though. We still haven't quite figured out all the bits and pieces. But I got a major thing. It just disappeared right before our very eyes.
I'll be enjoying the rest of the Trucy show from the gallery. I put out a call for Trucy's fans to come and support her earlier, by the way.
Bet I'll get some great footage out of them. This is gonna be good. Hang loose, baby.
He definitely did it, though. He called in some of Trucy's fans. But for what purpose? Apollo? The thing Mr. Rettins just did, that was some high-level sleight of hand. Why would he know how to do something like that? I don't know, but he definitely has some serious magic skills. No way. He said magicians were all a bunch of good-for-nothings, which someone who was kicked out of Troop Gramarye would be very pissed off and maybe start saying stuff like that. Mr. Lawyer? Wait, who's saying? Mr. Lawyer? Oh, hello, Bonnie. Can I help you with something? Well, there's something that's been bothering me. Really? What is it? Well, you see... Hey, dummy! What are you whispering to Lobster Boy about? Betty, who the heck do you think you are? Are you crazy? You want a piece of this? You know you have to talk to me first before you do or say anything, you harebrain. But I... Shut your mouth, you dumb bunny! Come with me, now! I wonder what was bothering her. There's no way we're finding that out with Betty constantly hovering over her like that.
Court is about to reconvene.
Will you be alright testifying? Yes, it's just... I wonder what Mr. Rettins has up his sleeve. I doubt he's bringing in actual fans. Yeah, probably not. I wonder what he has up his sleeve too. Probably a bunch of cards, and maybe that camera.
We've been Speckledorfed.
That's not even a word, and I agree with ya. You better not be trying to get under Trucy's skin right now, of all times. You're Trucy, right? And you'll be fine. Oh, there goes Apollo with his best trick. That's right. Whenever I'm feeling down, I always tell myself I'm fine. Alright, I'll give it a try. I'm Trucy, right? And I'm fine! Uh-oh. Alright, 5 minutes on the clock. Thanks, Polly. I think I can do this now. Atta girl. Good luck up there on the stand. You'll do great. Thanks. I'll be fine. I can do this. Alright, Justice. You can do this too. Time to focus on the rest of the trial. Don't worry, Phoenix. We're gonna get your adopted daughter off scot-free. Everything's gonna be just fine. I swear the sister will not get the guilty verdict.
Court is now back in session. Defendant, please step up to the witness stand.
Little Miss Wright, magician. Here comes the liar, the deceitful witch.
Throw the murderer in jail.
Last member of that criminal troupe.
Boo! We don't want to see you on any stage. Order! The gallery will be quiet or I will have you all thrown out on the spot.
What's with all the hecklers? I bet they're the fans Mr. Rettins invited. What a grade A jerk. Well, he's not going to psych us out.
Now then, Miss Wright. This court would like to know if you switched from the steel sword to the rubber one on stage. So please testify about this issue.
They're gonna try and trick us again with their magic. Hurry up and convict her already.
Give her the death penalty! Silence, all of you! I won't tell you again. Miss Wright, do you feel able to testify?
Yes, I'm fine, Your Honor.
I stopped myself. I didn't say it. I stopped myself.
Sister, I knew I shouldn't have let her go through with this. I'd like to make a small request. How about, instead of testifying with words, I show you exactly what happened? Would that be alright, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves. In spite of everything, she's still smiling. Your sister's amazing, isn't she? She sure is. She's doing just fine up there. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. She's faithfully following the Troop Gramarye creed even now. It really is something else. It's showtime for magical girl Little Miss Wright. Watch carefully now, everybody.
Oh, this is cool. I like this. Ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on this sword. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is. See that? No tricks or gimmicks, a very sharp sword indeed. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and... Presto Swordo! There, I've switched it. And now... Hup! As you can see, the blade is not steel, but rubber. How? Miss Wright, how? Bravo, Miss Wright! Wow, she's with them in a flash. I couldn't see her do it at all. She's completely turned the room around. The hecklers are being drowned out by all the cheering.
Where did the steel sword vanish off to, Miss Wright?
Welcome back, Maya. Thank you for. Oh, okay, I'll uncross my leg. Okay, I'll get some hydrate.
Ooh woo! Ooh woo! Ooh woo, Maya. Thank you for the ooh woo. My grandchildren say that when I go ooh woo, I become famous on TikTok. Of course, apparently it only lasts a good 10 minutes, but the fleeting life that is fame of an entertainer. In order to deepen our understanding of the case, please tell us if you would. I'm not asking out of mere curiosity, just so you know.
I usually hide the steel sword backstage when I switch them during the show.
So when you thrust the rubber sword into the coffin, the steel sword wasn't even on stage, but behind the curtain?
Exactly. So, and that's also it. If she tossed the steel sword back there, 100%, dude was killed after he tumbled out of the coffin. Like, he was still alive when the dragon fell, and everyone evacuated. So you see, there is a trick and a gimmick to it after all. And as for where the steel sword went when I performed that trick just now, it's a secret. Wouldn't want to spoil the magic for you, now would I?
Ho ho ho!
That's our girl. Yeah, still. I did it! Yay, Miss Wright. That part where you spun around, that's an actual part of the sword switching trick you do for the show, right? Right, the other parts, like the apple, were just to help with my explanation here in court. That's funny. I think I found an inconsistency in her testimony. And it looks like I'm not the only one. I don't know what it's doing there, but now that I found it, I have to get to the bottom of it.
Now then, Mr. Justice, you may go ahead and question the witness, but try not to ask dumb questions and spoil this wondrous magic.
I thought this was supposed to be my cross-examination. Okay. The stupendous sword switch. Let's see here. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go back and actually watch this because it's fun. And because I might have missed something. How did you do that? Let me take a look at the footage, because I don't think the footage has her doing the spin. The fact that this has no audio hurts me. Wait. We didn't see her do the turnaround, but I think this is what Apollo is talking about.
Objection!
That's true. That's what I thought, but it's the one inconsistency that we have at the moment. Miss Wright, there's something I'd like to confirm with you. What is it, Apollo? There seems to be a discrepancy between the way you performed the trick for us just now and the way it appears in the show footage. What? But that can't be. I performed it exactly the same way both times. And what's going on here? Miss Wright, I have the show footage right here, and the part where you twirl your cape around is missing from it. What? But I did it! So, it really is the exact moment you switched the swords? Yes, that's right. Knew it! Uh-oh. Well, I certainly never expected the defense to expose the accused lie from me. Mr. Justice, does this mean that you are arguing that the defendant did not swap the swords during the actual magic show? No, Your Honor, that wasn't my intention. I mean, I did swap them. I know I did. I'm absolutely sure of it. Human memory is unreliable at best, but in this case, I'm afraid that it is the witness herself who cannot be trusted. We can see the footage for ourselves. The claims of this witness are false. But... And now that it has been proven that the accused did not swap swords, it means that the use of the steel sword to pierce the coffin was wholly intentional. And by the way, was it not you, Mr. Justice, who argued that Mr. Reese's death was not an accident, but murder? I assume you have no objection to that still. It was, after all, your own assertion. Defense,
Objection!
The defense has an objection to you, Mr. Apollo Justice. I demand you withdraw the discrepancy you pointed out now. But there is a discrepancy, and it must mean something. I'm sure of it. Will the defense team kindly save this spat until after court is adjourned? Now, after all of this debate, it seems we've come back around to the original argument. The defendant knew about the prank plan that would place the victim inside the coffin. What's more, the defendant did not perform the sword-switching trick on stage. Through her actions, I'm afraid I have come to see the true intentions of the accused. Her murderous intentions. It's such a shame. But I did switch the swords, I swear. You're knee-deep in it now, Justice. Fine, we'll look one more time. Yeah, there's a bunch of smoke. We can't see anything. It's possible she did it in the smoke. We just have absolutely no way of confirming whether or not she... Actually, no. The footage... look! The footage isn't looking at her when she does the spin. It's also entirely possible the footage just wasn't looking at her. I need deep in the now, Justice. Even if it wasn't... on footage... Hold it! Hi, Bonnie. Thank you. Excuse me. Well, let's see. You are... Oh, which one again? Benny? No, that's not right. Botty? It's Bonnie. You were mixing the two names together, Your Honor. Oh, pardon me. And do you have something you wish to say, Bonnie? Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to testify. About what? The more I think about it, the less possible it seems. I don't believe Trucy killed Mr. Ruse. Bonnie? Betty? Hey, what's the big idea? Such an incredibly gifted and talented magician would never commit murder. I refuse to believe it. What are you talking about, you harebrained hare? You keep your trap shut. I got a bag of baby carrots for you, so chew on those and pipe down. No, I won't be quiet. What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me? Trucy said something to me once. Huh? She said, no matter how scared you get, no matter how mean people are to you, you can't give in or give up. That's what being a professional magician is all about. Isn't that right, Trucy? That's right, Bonnie. I've always been afraid to stand up to Betty, afraid of the fire, so I did what she said. But when I saw Trucy today, she gave me strength. I object to your objection? On what grounds?
On the grounds that it's detrimental to my case.
Seems reasonable to me.
You're objecting to Betty? Yeah, that's fair. I agree with your objection. But yes, looking at the footage, it's just not looking at Trucy at the time. We see the end of her sword spin. Seeing her courage, the way she kept smiling despite everything, she's just incredible. So I'm not going to run away. I'm scared, but for once, I'm going to be brave. Gah, what have you done to my sister, Trucy Wright? You practically brainwashed her. It's the power of Trucy's conviction. That's what it is. It's touched Bonnie's heart. Yeah, Trucy really is one magical girl. Bonnie, is the topic of your testimony related to that thing that was bothering you? The thing you tried to tell us about in the lobby during the recess? Yes, ever since I saw the show footage, something's been nagging at me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something is off. I feel like something about it is different from what I saw on the stage.
What do you mean by that, Bonnie?
I wonder if what was shown on TV is really the same as what happened on stage.
Of course it is. The show has only been performed once, after all. It can't show anything other than what happened on that stage yesterday.
Bonnie's testimony deserves our attention. We have to examine the show footage.
But what can we check it against? Do you have some other footage of the show?
Well, I have some show footage. You do? One of the TV station's cameramen said he was a fan of mine. He kept his camera on me throughout the entire show. And then afterward, he gave me the footage he shot as a present. You did? To tell you the truth, I thought it was kind of creepy, so I was going to get rid of it. Please submit that footage to the court. Alright, new footage. Let's take a look at it.
Now then, let's take a look at this new footage.
Okay. That's creepy. Oh, here we go. Are we going to see a little bit of the twirl? Come on. Where is it? Whoa! What the? Cards? That's not what happened in the other footage. Wait, what? That's not what the camera saw. What? Wait. Wow. Okay then.
He really did keep his camera on Bonnie the whole time, didn't he?
I think this cameraman needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work.
Well, defense, do you still believe this new show footage?
Yes. It's very Of course I do. Okay, so how are we going to go about this? Let's try comparing the two. We just might find an inconsistency between them. An inconsistency, huh? Yes. The two pieces of footage are of the same scene, so they should match up. But Bonnie felt there was something off about the original footage. So if we can pick out what's different between the two, we'll know what Bonnie found strange. Exactly. Plus, we may figure out why the original doesn't show the sword switching trick. Yeah, there was a lot. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare those two pieces of show footage.
Very well, I will allow it. What a waste of time.
Apollo, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage? No, I've never done it before. I'll give you a little lesson then. The cards, the running away, the smokes, there were several things. Use the video player's buttons to go through the footage. When you want to speed through, use the fast forward A button. If you want to go back, use the rewind button Y. If you want to halt the playback, just use the pause button B. Oh, and by the way, if you fast forward or rewind when the playback is paused, you can do a slow frame-by-frame playback. Okay, and how do I switch between the two videos? Just use the switch camera button. Now if you find a difference between the two pieces of footage, put the cursor over what's different and present it to the court. Thanks, Athena. You really know your stuff. Not really. I just gave it some gusto and then went on my gut on most of it. What? I sure hope she guessed right. Anyway, let's give it a try. Okay. So we can
It takes a moment to switch between the two. That's right. Okay. Okay, looking at legs. We can't really tell the difference in the hold on, let me pause. I feel like we can't really tell the difference in the size of the smoke screen. What's the button for backwards? Okay, we can't see Trucy at all. Here. Wait. Shouldn't she be in front of the coffin? I feel like that's not quite clear enough though. That's not good enough. There. Cards. Where did the cards come from? Hello? We should probably, but oh wait, no, wrong way. There are cards flying out of nowhere. But where the hell did they come from? Where are the cards? Show me the cards.
Take that!
This is it right here. Take a good look at this scene and compare it to the video shot from the front. Oh, the playing cards don't appear in the video shot from the front. Hey, you're right. What's going on here? Miss Wright, what can you tell us about these playing cards? Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword switching trick. What? Mr. Justice, does this mean... Yes, it means that the sword switching trick was cut from the TV show footage. So the footage was edited? Yes, with malicious intent. That is absurd. Well, we must get to the bottom of this right away. Bailiff, the TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out. Yes, Your Honor. Who said hold it? Is it the bastard? It's the bastard. It's definitely you. Hi, Mr. Reuse. It's you! Now hold up, Your Honor. This is all just a big misunderstanding. Give a guy a chance to defend himself before you start pointing fingers. And who might you be? Right. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself there. Here's my business card. Charmed to make your acquaintance, Your Honor. Oh, well, how very polite of you. It's lovely to meet you too, Prosecutor Satamati. Please, take my card. A business card? Oh, yes, I read about this custom among businessmen in this country. I've even familiarized myself with the various replies. How do you do, good sir? Or what's crap? I couldn't... The cold read? I couldn't do the cold read on that. I wasn't expecting that. I couldn't do the cold read. I was not expecting this. Thank you for the Titanic music, Fluffy. It's very on point. Hold on. What's crack-a-lackin', homie, for example? Oh, you're from Take Two TV, are you, witness? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before. Yes, Roger Rettins, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja. He's a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He is best known for his catchphrase, "Hang loose, baby." Oh my, so you're the Ratings Raja.
Hang loose, judgy baby. Nice courtroom you got here. Well, my last one was blown up, so I never thought I'd get to meet you in person. But Prosecutor Saltmuddy, how do you know so much about him? In preparation for the case, I watched all of his shows. I found the ratings Roger Goes to Burger Barn of particular interest. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine. What? You went to Burger Barn? Who would have thought? You must have really wanted to try, no, buddy? Because that line, whew. Compared to my aesthetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend the Southwestern Burger with jalapeno jack cheese, by the way. Ooh, that actually sounds really good. I'm kind of hungry now. Now I kind of want a burger. I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers. Do you think he has like a casual outfit that he wears when he's not in this getup? Prosecutor Saltmuddy's unexpected enthusiasm for food aside, Mr. Letton, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned? Well, for starters, it's true that the footage was edited. You don't get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show you the unedited footage. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part with the playing cards. You can see the cards when Trucy spins around, so keep your eyes peeled. Hang loose, baby. Oh, okay. A calzone? Ooh, that does sound good. You see the part where that was cut where Trucy switched the swords? She spins around and the playing cards go flying, and everything like it's supposed to be. Then it seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick, which means the sword Miss Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Miss Wright couldn't have killed Mr. Hughes. Yeah, see, that's the first misunderstanding right there. What do you mean? Well, Trucy definitely did swap swords, as you saw. So yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mr. Reeves when she stabbed the coffin, but that just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse, which is something I've already planned. I've already considered this. I am 5 steps ahead of you, bitch. So you're saying that up until that point, everything was going according to the script? If that's true, then when and how exactly do you think he was killed? It was after the dragon set piece came crashing down. I say Trucy murdered Mr. Hughes when she was hidden from view behind the set piece. She could have easily done it behind that huge dragon and nobody'd be the wiser. I see. Indeed, there is a ring of truth to your assertion. You bet. Plus, there's a suspicious-looking shadow in the footage, too. It's toward the end of the footage, just before the dragon enters the stage. Might be easier to just see it for yourselves. I didn't see it. It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here. Okay. This suspicious shadow must be Trucy. How? She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim. What the hell are you talking about? I suppose it does look that. It doesn't look like anything! It looks like bullshit. It looks like fucking nothing. Like, absolute nothing. Like, we can see Mr. Hat's shadow. I know, watch. We can see Mr. Hat's shadow go up. If you look on the left side after the smoke screen, you'll see the Mr. Hat shadow. And there he goes. Is it the same shadow, though? It might. I think it might be, but... Still, we saw her run away from the scene. Like, she would have to run back there, grab the sword, and then come back up and stab him without being noticed. The problem is the puppet, it isn't a different spot, because it was something going up. That's the other thing. Something was going up. But I think it was the puppet again.
Objection!
This witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Your Honor. And that's not all. Aren't we forgetting? And the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage? You see, there's your second misunderstanding right there. Your Honor, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV, and I've always wanted to give it a shot. That would be fine with me, Prosecutor Sodmuddy. This is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the comic course of this case. Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I've got to say, promise. Very well. However, if you do anything to impede the last rites for the victim, I will have you removed. All right. With Prosecutor Sodmuddy's permission, please give us your testimony, Mr. Rettens. Roger Rettens, the ratings Roger, now Kaiser of the courtroom. I'm taking over the floor, so listen up, loyal viewers. It wasn't deliberate, I tell you. Footage is meant to be edited, I tell you. Scenes are spliced together and long or boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Or what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage? I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword swapping scene was cut? That's right. Glad you got the picture. Coincidence? That's a little too convenient if you ask me. Ooh, an objection. How cool. Sure packs a lot more punch when you're alive. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle. My objection is not for your entertainment. And cut. There. I got some good stuff there. Mr. Rettens, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Whoops, my bad, Judge. And if the defense has an issue, it can point it out during its cross-examination. I don't know how I started becoming where I have to say it that way. Cross-examination. I think it's funny, though. Well, it is meant to be edited, I tell you. Scenes are spliced together, and longer, boring scenes are cut out.
Hold it!
Are you saying you thought there were boring scenes in Miss Wright's magic show? You gotta ask. That script and presentation deserve a place on the cutting room floor. Broadcasting that mess as is would have been a complete disaster. That's why I had to edit the footage. It's just what a TV man does. What didn't you like about the show, exactly? The whole thing! It was a major snooze fest. Maybe common folk like you don't get it. But the show's only as good as how loud, flashy, and trashy it is. Wow, it sounds like every fucking CW executive. It was plenty loud and flashy on its own. All you did was add the trash. I suppose each industry has its own way of doing things. Just as we in the legal profession focus exclusively on evidence and testimony. Exactly! Whether it's showbiz or the legal biz, we do what we gotta do to get the job done. We are not starting this debate again. The ends do not justify the means. Anyway, editing footage is just a matter of course in the TV industry. Oh, the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously. It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional.
Hold it!
Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword switching trick? That seems like too much of a coincidence to me. Oh, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my programs, big shot. It's hard being the boss, kid. You gotta make the tough choices, like which content gets cut and who gets fired. Then let me ask you this. Why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case? You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. I tell ya, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know the first thing about it. I may not know TV, but I know evidence law, and boy do I have some for you, champ. I might not be able to show that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it.
Take that!
What's that you got there? This is the contract you had Miss Wright sign just before the magic show. This contract between the first party, Take-Two TV, and the second party, Miss Wright, reads, if, through the fault of the second party, the show must be canceled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party. $3 million?
That's a completely unreasonable sum. I couldn't agree more. And of course, Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Retin has had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or, more accurately, he conned her into signing it.
Conned her? How did he do that?
There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign her contract. It houses carbon paper that can secretly copy her signature onto other documents.
Here we go! Oh, come on now. That's quite a nasty accusation you're slinging my way. For starters, you don't have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. Just because Trucy and her agent can't pay out, that doesn't mean I conned her. But $3 million? That's totally out of reach for the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Rettens.
I have a feeling his name is Ratens. Roger Ratens? Like a rating? You don't have any, do you? Do we have proof? Do we have proof? Let me see what we have. Where's your proof linking you to that tricked out clipboard? Oh, I can't look at it. Let me press him first. This clipboard is yours, though, isn't it, Mr. Ratens?
Well, it belongs to the TV station anyway, that much I know. It was an old prop from one of our TV shows that got used by mistake.
Or maybe you used it on purpose. To con Miss Wright.
Mr. Ratens has already stated that he did not. Mr. Justice, please do not use this trial to try to get out of paying your agency's debt.
That's not what I'm doing! Proof Mr. Ratens is connected to the carbon paper, huh? If Trucy's signature was copied on the fake contract, then there must be an original contract that Trucy actually did sign. True, but I bet Mr. Ratens is too savvy to leave something like that behind as evidence. But what if her signature was copied onto more than just the fake contract? Like a third document with Trucy's signature on it? Have we seen anything? Yes, we have.
Hey, what are you guys whispering about? Let me continue my testimony!
No, fuck you.
Objection!
You must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken.
Hey kid, would it kill you to enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster.
I'd like you to take a look at Miss Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here on this contract.
Or would you look at that? They're exactly the same.
That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign their name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. These signatures are proof positive that you conned Miss Wright. And they definitely prove your malicious intent.
Say, not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in you. This is really getting interesting now. It'll get great ratings for sure.
Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Ratens. The fact that you bear ill will against my client. So the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions. Isn't that right?
What a false argument, defense. All you have really proven is not his ill will toward Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed. That's right, I just wanted money, baby. Fat section cheddar, that's all. After all, I never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show, so I'd have absolutely no reason to bear her any ill will, right?
You are Mr. He didn't bear her any ill will, huh? Fat chance. This guy definitely has a major hate for Trucy. Yep. Nope, I should have noticed this earlier. He's 100%. If you start playing Disney music really loud, yes, let's ruin his fucking... Let's get him copyrighted. Let's see if he can go play head toe-to-toe with the mouse. That'll be fun to watch. I can't prove it with anything, but the things he said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two. Have him show off his arm. Like, Hey, sir, aren't you warm? Why don't you, like, roll up your sleeves a little? Maybe your right sleeve specifically. And, like, you know, do a big stretch. Big stretch. Let me see your arm, damn it. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Rettins and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must be some hidden connection between them.
Hidden?
Connection?
What is it now?
Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice?
It is futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's feckless claims.
Objection!
You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me, but once you hear my argument, you'll wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously.
Will I really? Very well then, do proceed.
Did you figure something out, Apollo? Nope, not a thing.
What?
That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training.
I hope you know what you're doing.
If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Rettins?
That sleight of hand trick Mr. Rettins did during the recess earlier.
Especially because he did it so unconsciously. Like, his automatic and subconscious response was to do some sleight of hand magic to hide that camera. Dude is 100% a trained and practiced and an expert magician. What if Mr. Rettins is a magician too?
What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me.
Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Miss Wright somewhere along the way.
Your argument is hardly worth responding to. But by all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Kirayanism states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit, he isn't gonna get it anyway. But we saw Mr. Rettins perform a magic trick. He made his video camera disappear in the blink of an eye.
Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must have been seeing things. Want me to introduce you to a good eye doctor? If a connection as tenuous as that is all it takes, then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will toward the accused.
I guess you're right.
You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, short stuff? You would do well to cleanse that putrid mind of yours in the holy waters of Mount Pony. 3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey.
A numbskull for a numbskull. Ugh. Oh, this numbskull has thick skin, so there.
I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician, it's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy, is it?
Hold on. I can think of one person. One magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Troop Gramarye. Oh? Here we go, Biscuit. We're about to reveal the truth. No way! Apollo's figured it out! Let's go, Apollo! He's figured it out! He figured out that... How long ago did I figure it out? Like an hour ago?
There's something wrong, Mr. Justice.
Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time.
I see. And what sort of evidence do you have for us?
Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who had a motive to commit this crime.
What? What?
And what have you come up with this time, defense? Trucy Wright is the sole heir to Troop Gramarye and its name. This puts her square in the crosshairs of one particular magician. And this piece of evidence points to that one person with a grudge against Miss Wright.
Take that!
And who exactly are you naming, Mr. Justice?
13 years ago, the great Mr. Ryus belonged to Troop Gramarye. But then the troop ousted him, and Mr. Ryus vowed to get revenge on them someday. And what better way to accomplish that than through the ruination of their sole heir?
But Mr. Ryus is the victim, Mr. Justice. You've named a dead man as your suspect.
But is he really dead?
What do you mean, is he really dead?
If the fact that Mr. Ryus is the victim is what's throwing you off, then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Ryus? What? You mean the victim was an imposter?
Not Mr. Ryus. Then what about the real Mr. Ryus?
It would mean the real Mr. Ryus is still alive.
That's absurd. That's absurd!
There we go. Put more emphasis into it. I was like, yes, he's very calm and demure, but like sometimes he's like,
Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Ryus and not the victim of this case?
It's all coming together now. I finally see the gimmick, the trick to this entire case. This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated Troop Gramarye and wanted to sully its name.
See, look, he doesn't have the scar!
The magician lurking in the shadows who set up a fake Mr. Ryus in his stead. The real Mr. Ryus is...
Take that!
What that's?
Yes, it is. Roger Raytons is the real Mr. Ryus.
What?
Him? Him indeed.
Oh, hollow red pepper, your impotent seeds sprout naught but meaningless empty words.
What did you call me?
You can't possibly have proof to support such an outlandish theory. It's not a bad idea for a soap opera, but not even die-hard fans of the genre would stick past the pilot.
You want proof? Well, I've got proof. I can prove it by... proving that the Mr. Ryus in yesterday's magic show was a fake. And to do that... I just need you to look at this spot on this poster.
Take that!
This is the injury Mr. Ryus sustained while practicing a magic trick 13 years ago. However... and also, he hasn't aged. As no one's gonna point out the fact that he hasn't aged a day in 13 years. What's your skincare routine? The video of the victim's shot of himself shows no trace of that injury.
Oh my, you're absolutely right.
Now, Mr. Raytons, what do you suppose we'd find if we took a look at your right forearm? Is there by chance nasty 13-year-old scar under that sleeve of yours? Well, Mr. Raytons, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something else up there?
Come on now, I have nothing on my sleeve. I don't need to hide anything up there, because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, my magic is the real deal.
Called it.
Is this what you were hoping to see?
Oh, there it is, the scar. Just as I thought.
That's right. I am the forgotten magician abandoned to the dark understage of history. The great Mr. Ryus.
Damn, good flash paper trick.
This is
It's totally absurd. Oh, I love seeing him crack. I love seeing this man crack. Oh, it gives me great pleasure.
oh, how ironic, wouldn't you say? And this odious mark carved into me by Troop Gramarye would bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the comic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Ryus, then who was the victim who perished in the magic show? He was but a fan. I met him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he'd become a magician out of admiration for the great Mr. Ryus. In confidence, I told him my true identity and let him take on my mantle. But when did this man take over for you? About 2 years ago. I taught him my tricks and even acted as his producer. And so a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight. Courtesy of my magic on the stage we call television. Hope you enjoyed the show. You really had us all fooled.
Mr. Raytons, or should I say, Mr. Ryus. If in your hatred of True Grammar, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery, and then set up Miss Right to take the fall, didn't you? You did it all just to tarnish the Grammary name. I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I set up the prank, that much is true, but it was simply a harmless joke on Trilogy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strongly the criminal element runs in the blood of these Grimmaries. Boy, you are such a sins of the father bastard. You know how much I hate that.
Objection!
What if it was a secret prank plan that very few people knew about? Couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead? Gah! Ah! His head! Just kidding. What the heck was that? Heed my words, lawyer lad, for I fear your grasp on reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks. Enough with the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already? My alibi is pristine as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Sonmuddy? Yes, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solid alibi. What? Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Ratings was at Take-Two TV. A fact that many people can easily attest to. That's right. I forgot all about that. So what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to testify on the matter? Yes, I think you'd better. Please tell the court more about your alibi. Very well then. On with the show. Are you watching, Magnifique Grammary? The time has finally come for my magic to snuff out your precious pedigree. The Grammary line will be no more. Okay, and you're saying you don't have ill will towards Strucy? I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth. Do you understand now, perhaps? I did not grace the theater with my presence until after the incident. So how could I have committed the murder? His staff did say he was there at the station, so it sure does sound like a rock-solid alibi. But that can't be right. If Mr. Raines is the killer, he'd had to have been at the theater. There's got to be a hole somewhere in his story. I assure you, there are no holes on Mr. Ryu's stage. No tricks, no gimmicks. True magic doesn't need trapdoors to escape through. Do enjoy my show to the fullest, and my real alibi. But that's the thing. Didn't we already say that the murder happened after? Isn't that already a possibility? I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time. Oh, actually, let me look at stuff real fast, because I feel like we have something. No, we don't have anything. And there it is. A simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth. Okay.
Hold it!
What was this other TV show you were working on? My own special project, you see. One moment. Perhaps this is more appropriate. It's a Ratings Raja special production. Yeah, hang loose, baby. It's called Desperation Regeneration. He switched personas just to say that? What's the show about? Washed-up has-been singers and comedians get together and play musical chairs. The winner of the game is given a second chance at their career. A priceless prize for chumps who washed up too early in life. Sounds great, right? Sounds like you should have been on that show. Get fucked, buddy. Might I suggest you appear on that show, Mr. Justice? As the ex-lawyer who used to make ridiculous bluffs in court and faded sadly into obscurity. I'll let the Ratings Raja produce my TV debut? Not in this lifetime. You have great reactions. Who knows? TV might be your true calling. Hey, whose side are you on?
In any case, I was overseeing production of this program during the Penrose performance,
And you left early. You left early. I remember you leaving early. Okay.
Hold it!
how do we know these staff members aren't in cahoots with you? I'm making my business to perform solo. My magic is neither need nor want of assistance. After all, one of them could reveal the secrets behind my magic, could they not?
So he doesn't trust anybody, huh? He's the complete opposite of Trucy.
There were many people there in the studio audience who saw the witness as well. Even if he had been able to persuade his own staff to cover for him, he could not have convinced so many complete strangers to do the same.
He really has made a rock-solid alibi for himself.
Yeah, it's almost too good, you know?
It's eerie how perfect it is.
Has all been revealed to you now. I feel like as Mr. Ryus is being a little bit more down here. And there it is. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth.
Hold it!
The ratings Raja and Mr. Ryus.
I've got it! Do you have a brother? A brother that looks exactly like you, maybe?
Again with the twins business. You think the audience will let you get away with using the same gimmick twice in a row? If you do not believe him, Defense, why not investigate for yourself? Though I'm sure your efforts will prove to be thoroughly fruitless.
Yeah, I guess the twin theory is a little far-fetched. The perfect alibi, huh? It's no good, Apollo. I can't find a hole anywhere. There's gotta be some kind of trick to it. I just know there's a trap door in there somewhere.
Hold it!
This is the only thing that we haven't... But you did come to the theater eventually, isn't that right?
Indeed. Anxious to see how the show was progressing, I made my way to the theater. Well, let's see, my journey took about 10 minutes by car.
Could he actually have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim?
Oh, allow me a stab at reading your mind. Could I have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim?
How would the...
But no, I took a taxi. The driver can attest to that. Feel free to call the taxi company if my word does not satisfy you. The driver's a big fan of the ratings Raja. I even gave him my card.
You gave the driver his car? That was very clever of him.
You might as well give it up, lad. Questioning real magic is a fool's errand. Besides, you know very well what I was doing at the time of the incident.
Ugh, his alibi really is airtight.
I believe we've heard enough. While I believe the witness does indeed harbor some ill will against the defendant, there is no reason to doubt that he was at the TV station at the time of the incident. Yes, and the facts prove it was impossible for the witness to have been involved with this crime.
Ugh.
These last rites for the victim have dragged on long enough. The soul of the victim himself is so bored that it is resting on top of your honor's head.
It is. I love that that's just the same fucking animation they used for when Taka was on his head in the last game.
The time has come. Let us punish the sinner and guide the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm.
Apollo, Trucy will be thrown in prison, and we'll be out of a job. But if you catch tasty fishes, will you sell me some at a good price? I told you, I have absolutely zero intention of going off on a tuna boat. Think justice. You have to figure this out. It's no use. It's no use. I can't find a single flaw. So what now?
Uh-oh. Behold my never-ending magic show. Come for the awe-inspiring showmanship of the great Mr. Ryus. And stay for my grand illusion until the end of time.
Wait, is he saying that we're still trapped inside some sort of illusion of his? That's what professional magicians do. They make their audience see something that isn't really there. In other words, you make us see illusions, right? We call it misdirection. While we keep you busy believing one thing, we're busy making something else happen. What we say is there really isn't, and what we say isn't there actually is. Could it be? You know what, Mr. Ratons? I guess we have all been spectators to the elaborate illusion you prepared for us. An illusion that has subtly turned our attention towards something you wanted us to see.
What are you going on about, lad?
Have you got something, Apollo? I just remembered something Trucy told us about. Misdirection. What a magician says is there really isn't, and what they say isn't there actually is. If we've all been taken for a ride by Mr. Rayton's magic, then maybe he's made us see something that wasn't really there. It's time to rethink all of my assumptions about this case. What have we been made to believe was there when it actually wasn't? What have we taken to be the absolute facts of this case? The dead body? The fact that he was dead beforehand? If I reevaluate the validity of all of these things, then just maybe... Athena, there's something uncanny about this case. Okay, what is it? Raiden's alibi. It's too perfect. That's true. It's like it's impossible to break no matter how hard we try. But maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's exactly what he wants us to think. I'm not following. We're not making any headway here because we've been so focused on breaking his alibi. Oh, I think I get it. You're saying he's using misdirection on us, right? It's definitely a possibility.
Ahem. Would the defense care to share with everyone what it's discussing over there?
Your Honor, we believe that if we were to reconsider a certain assumption, we may finally arrive at the truth. In fact, I think we'll even finally see who's hiding behind the curtain, so to speak.
And what is this certain assumption you're thinking of?
This is the one key assumption we've been taking for granted this whole time. The crime scene. The actual scene of the crime wasn't the theater, but the... Well, no, that's not what I meant. Not what I meant. Okay, that's not... Okay, hold on. Then I know what it is. I'll brush up on courtroom manners 101 again, just for you, Your Honor. Okay, in other words, the culprit was on scene. Oh, that's right. That's the other thing I was thinking of. I wonder if it's possible that he set up a way to kill him, because something fell... Let's see here. What if the culprit was somewhere other than the theater at the time of the crime? What if there was some way to commit the murder without actually being there, like with a remote control stabbing device? If that were the case, then Mr. Raiden's perfect alibi would become irrelevant.
Objection.
How could one person stab another to death with a sword without physically being there? Furthermore, we all saw what appears to be the culprit's shadow in the foot. That could be literally be any shadow. That could be anything. That legitimately.
Objection.
But couldn't we just as easily assume that the shadow does not belong to the culprit?
Well, if it's not the culprits, then whose is it?
Mr. Hat. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. It belongs to Mr. Hat. We've all seen something that looks like the shadowy shape before, Your Honor, during the magic show itself.
In that case, please point it out in the show footage for us.
This is the thing that looks suspiciously similar to the shadowy figure of the culprit.
Take that.
I probably could have pointed out Mr. Hat Shadow.
Mr. Justice, how does that even remotely resemble this shadowy figure?
I thought it looks pretty similar. Do you not think so? Wait a second. Huh? That's funny. Wait! 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 No! Oh my god, this is a stupid idea. This is a stupid idea. What if what fell... Well, no, but something went up, wasn't it? Okay, hold on. I need to go back through the footage one more time. Hold on. Let me fast forward. Because we do see... Let me go back a little bit. We do see... Okay, I assume it's that. I was about to say, what if he actually fell? What if he was actually dropped from the top? But no, I think the shadow that we're seeing is going up and not down. There we go. It's going... See, that's the thing. It's raising up. Like, how could you think it's the culprit when it's clearly something going upwards?
Take that.
There we go. Music stopped.
Doesn't the shadow resemble the suspicious, shadowy figure?
Now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it?
Miss Wright, could you identify this shadow for the court? Let's see. I believe that's Mr. Hat's shadow. It's from when he's being pulled up from the stage to the catwalk overhead by wire. Then could this shadow that's shown later in the footage be Mr. Hat too? No, that's not possible. After Mr. Hat was pulled up to the catwalk, he stayed up there. In other words, this second shadow is from some other figure being pulled up.
Some other figure? I'm afraid you'll need to be more specific than that, Mr. Justice.
He's right. We've come this far. I'll just have to figure it out from the clues I have on hand.
What is the second shadow shown in the footage?
Here's an idea. What if the reason he has the stage harness is he fell down, Trucy ran away, dude went up, got stabbed on his way up, and then was dropped back down. Thank you for letting there be a save right now, because I think I'm gonna need it. The second figure was probably the dead body.
Take that!
If we consider what was happening on the stage at the time, there's only one answer. The shadow belonged to the fake Mr. Ryu's. In other words, Mr. Man of Mystery. Man of Mystery! I hate that it took me that long to get Man of Mystery. Man of Mystery. God damn it. Fucking Ace Attorney. The victim. Please take a look at the prank plan script. Mr. Mystery was to pretend to be dead and then fly up into the air after that. Isn't that right, Mr. Raytons?
Indeed. And what of it?
I contend that that's exactly what happened. The victim was wearing a stun harness around his waist. It was most likely attached to a stun wire so that he could be pulled up into the air.
So you're suggesting that after pretending to be dead in the coffin, the victim flew up into the air just as the prank script says?
Exactly. We just couldn't see him go flying up because the dragon was blocking our view. And that last trick, ladies and gentlemen, is the true pièce de résistance of the culprit's murderous magic show. Don't tell me. You've got it all figured out? Yes, I think so. If we can just look beyond Mr. Rayton's last bit of misdirection, we should finally be able to see the real truth. The victim must have been pulled up to the catwalk, just like Mr. Hat, and hit the cushioning up there with considerable force. I just had to figure out what else happened up there at that time.
Are you ready to elaborate, Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
In that case, please answer me this. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up into the air like that?
Just why did the culprit have the victim fly up after he appeared in the coffin? And how did the victim actually die, when he was only pretending to be dead in the coffin? If we can figure out how these two questions relate, the answer should become clear. Could it be? Mr. Mystery must have thought he was still just part of the prank when he appeared on stage. He probably didn't suspect a thing as he was being pulled into the air, after Miss Wright was called backstage and just as the set piece fell. But the culprit had already planted the real murder weapon in a cushion in the catwalk. It was probably a knife or a blade of some sort. People just gain the ability to see the... I like to believe that changing your name in an Ace Attorney game is like a 5-second affair. I like to believe that anyone can change their name whenever they want. And it's just like, hey, can I have a name change to this? It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. What do you want to be called? Man of Mystery. Cool. Here you go. I want to be gasp in pain. Why? Why? I'm making my opponents gasp in pain. Okay. What? You mean? Yes, it really was a magical murder. Just as the prank script said, Mr. Mystery was whisked up into the air. And straight into a blade there in the catwalk. Ow. In other words, this murder was committed remotely through the use of a magic trick. What?
Remotely?
Using this method, it wouldn't matter where Mr. Raytons was at the time of death.
Well, how exactly does it work, Mr. Justice?
He was connected to the dragon, obviously.
just before the murder occurred. The dragon set piece was up in the catwalk. It and Mr. Man of Mystery were connected to each other by a wire at the time. By carrying out the prank plan, Betty made the dragon set piece fall, which caused Mr. Mystery to rocket straight up and into the blade in the cushion. The cushion was high up enough to be hidden from the audience's view. That's why nobody saw the blade. Oh, then the big gash in Mr. Hat's cape. Blade must have been set up overhead sometime before the magic show. Mr. Hat must have been slashed by it too when he was pulled up into the cushion. Hold it. I can't believe it. I had no idea. I was told that Trilogy would freak out if I made the set piece fall. That's the only reason I did it. You were used, Betty. Roger Raitons used you. I thought he was my little puppet to boss around, but it was the other way around. After the incident occurred, Mr. Raitons arrived at the theater. He got the murder weapon and swapped the rubber sword with the bloody steel one. That's also when he lowered the victim's body down to the stage. But how did he have time to do all that? When the set piece fell, the audience was evacuated from the building. He's able to do all those things after the fact because there's no one around to see. A horrific murder camouflaged by a spectacular magic show? That sounds like the kind of murder only a magician could pull off. As long as the show proceeded as it was scripted, Mr. Mystery was doomed to die. That's why it was you, Mr. Raitons, who killed the victim, all the way from the TV station. This prank plan, or should I say murder plan, proves your murderous intent. Gramarye! Satura! Hi. How can we help you? You have words? Yes, Matt Mercer, how can we help you? Enough. You dim-witted, ignorant, imbecilic, putrid red pepper. Can't possibly have a counter-argument to make. How about not knowing when to let go and move on? Do you have a rebuttal or something, Prosecutor Salmati? No blade of any kind was found in the catwalk, which means you have no evidence to support your theory. But Mr. Raitons retrieved it after the fact! Which still leaves you with no way to prove your wildly fantastic remote murder theory. But without proof, does it not make more sense to believe that the murder was committed there on the stage? That's where the bloodstained sword was found, after all. That is a very good point. As the only person who could have committed the crime there on that stage, Trilogy Wright remains the prime suspect. Ugh. Ah! It would appear that what you call truth is little more than a cheap parlor trick. In the end, you have done nothing to prove the accused's innocence. It is time to, at last, to let it go and move on. Are you seeing this, Magnifique Gramarye? My magic is exacting punishment on your granddaughter. The Gramarye name is done for. Paulo, we need to hit them with a decisive piece of evidence here. No, that's just what I was thinking. Mr. Justice, do you or don't you have anything to prove that the witness committed this remote murder you proposed? Of course I do, Your Honor. This entire incident was carried out exactly according to the script. Right, so theoretically there should be no evidence for us to find or use. Which means our best bet is to see if something unscripted happened. There's got to be something Raitons couldn't have foreseen. And once I find it, that's how I'll expose his murder trick. Mr. Hat! Mr. Hat! Mr. Hat! The fact that Mr. Hat was on the wrong side. That's what. The gashes on his cloak. Trilogy's statement. Get ready, Mr. Raitons, because I'm about to reveal the secret to your magic. There are no tricks or gimmicks here. Just some good old-fashioned logic. Oh, here we go. As long as the magic show when it's scripted, the murder would happen without fail. Everything in this case was carefully planned so that no evidence would be left behind. Still, one thing happened that definitely wasn't in the plan. Oh, this is new. Bonnie's mistake. Bonnie made a mistake during Trucy's escape trick. What mistake did Bonnie make? Mr. Hat's positioning. Her life choices! Oh my god, I didn't read all the options, but one of them was she regrets her life. She made the mistake with her life choices. That's fucked up. Because Bonnie placed Mr. Hat to the right of the coffin instead of to the left. Trucy had to reappear on the side of the coffin opposite to the ones on the show's script. But the culprit didn't know that when he first arrived at the theater, which means he was bound to make a slip-up when he tampered with the crime scene. Oh, yep. The blood on the in the coffin hole. Thinking Trucy had appeared on the left, the culprit must have put the blood in the left hole, but the blood was eventually discovered in the right hole during the police investigation. If the killer had originally put the blood on the left side, that means he must have tampered with the scene again afterwards to make it line up with the facts. To make the crime scene consistent with the facts, the culprit must have... Yeah, we did notice this, that the coffin sides were swapped at one point, because he was facing the wrong direction. The culprit... We have evidence! We have evidence! That's right! The left and right panes of the coffin are interchangeable. The culprit must have switched the two panels to make the blood stain fit the facts. But the switch might have also given rise to something unnatural. I remember now! There was something unnatural about the coffin, and it's just the evidence I need! Sorry, Mr. Ratens, but I have some very conclusive proof of your guilt. Another bluff, is it? There's no way you have anything of the kind. My magic is real. No objection! Don't finish that sentence. God damn it. No, there are tricks and gimmicks to it, just like any other illusion. What? What? After the murder, you switched the left and right panels of the coffin, didn't you? And because you did, you left behind something very unnatural for us to find. This proves that Roger Ratens tampered with the crime scene after the murder took place. This one.
Take that!
The fingerprinting results. What about the fingerprint is unnatural? Let's take a look at the prints the victim left inside the coffin, shall we? If the victim was facing forward in the coffin, his prints should have looked like this. However, what we found was they were facing the opposite direction. It's quite unnatural for the prints to be facing that way, wouldn't you agree? It is strange, isn't it? But how did they get this way? They got this way because the culprit thought the magic show had gone according to script. The culprit thought Mr. Hat would be on the left side of the coffin, and that Miss Wright would also pop up to the left of the coffin as per the show's script. He then assumed she had thrust the sword into the hole on the left side of the coffin. That's why he put blood in the left hole when he was trying to cover up his crime. But sometime after leaving the bloodstain, the culprit must have realized his mistake. He found out that, due to Bonnie's mistake, Mr. Hat was to the right of the coffin. And that despite the script, Miss Wright had thrust the sword into the hole on the right. In short, the hole with the blood in it was on the opposite side, the one that Trucy used. To make the blood's location fit the facts, he had to tamper with the evidence yet again. So he tried to cover his tracks by switching the coffin's left and right panels. Oh, and that's how the fingerprints in the coffin ended up backwards. Because the culprit switched the two side panels around, the prints ended up facing the opposite direction. But instead of going to all that trouble with the panels, why didn't the culprit just wipe the blood away and redo it on the other side? I'm afraid that wouldn't have worked, Your Honor, because of a little something called luminol testing. Oh, right, luminol. I almost forgot. Luminol can detect trace amounts of blood, even if it's been wiped away, right? That's right. Wiping the blood away would have only served as proof of his meddling. How about it, Mr. Ratens? I did a pretty good job figuring out your trick, didn't I?
Objection!
Trucy Wright could have done the same just as easily. You have no proof that it was this witness who tampered with the evidence.
Objection!
But I do have proof. What? A person who was in the magic show would never have made the mistake of putting the blood on the wrong side. Least of all Miss Wright, who surely would have remembered she was on the other side.
Oh my, you're absolutely right. Why, you impudent.
I'm sure you've realized by now, Prosecutor Sadmati, that your claim that Miss Wright is the culprit just doesn't hold up.
You and the accused are most certainly bound for hell.
Objection! Really? Miss Wright and I? Because I think you're the one with the ticket there for trying to convict an innocent girl. He got hit in the face! Yes, let's go! I'm so happy.
Prosecutor Sadmati, are you alright?
That was so good. I'm so happy. As for the true culprit, he's someone who knew how the show was supposed to go, but didn't actually see it. And someone who had the chance to tamper with the crime scene after the incident. And the only person who fits the bill is you, Roger Ratons.
Gramarye!
All the secrets to your tricks have been revealed. And with no tricks left, I'm afraid your show has been canceled. Permanently. Let's fucking go.
All of my secrets have been revealed, you say? Don't make me laugh, boy. Mine is the true, real magic. There are no secrets to reveal. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the true power of the great Mr. Ryus. Witness a magic far greater than true Gramarye's. Burn. Crumble. Fall to my furious flames. The great Mr. Ryus will bring an end to you all. And now, for the final heir to the Gramarye name. Right here, right now, you too shall Huh? No, this isn't right. No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's not my fault. I'm not the one to blame. I'm the victim here. What? Oh! Stop! No! Curse you, Gramarye!
And down he goes. Get shit on. I'm gonna kick you in the face.
Curse those Gramaryes. It's all because of them. Even now they wound me. Curse them all to the abyss.
You're the one who murdered some guy. Do you really hate us that much? Does your hatred run that deep? Even enough to kill an innocent man?
You're damn right. You have no idea what humiliations I had to suffer. Your grandfather, Magnifique Gramarye, kicked me out after I got hurt practicing my magic. He said I was too unskilled, that I would mess up on stage. He threw me out of the troupe just because he was worried about his own reputation.
He was worried you were going to hurt yourself.
Since I was but a child, it was always my dream to become a great magician. But that Magnifique, he took it all from me.
But that's no excuse. That's no reason to do something so evil. Magic is supposed to make people happy, not used as a means for murder.
What's the big deal? I just used what I had available to me, that's all.
Get it now. That attitude toward magic is why my grandfather kicked you out. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician!
Don't deserve? I don't know about that. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak.
You're right. I didn't see through your tricks.
You see, so in the end, Troupe Gramarye was defeated by the great Mr. Ryus. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy, right? You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn! Take that, Gremory! You lose! If anyone needs to learn to let it go and move on, it's this guy. This court of my prison can both burn in the flames of my creation. Bailiff, take Mr. Rayton away, and bring a fire extinguisher just to be safe. It looks like we've reached the end. I feel as though I've been watching a grand magic show. It was close, but we just barely managed to make it somehow. Huh? Why does Trucy look so down? Miss Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I'm about to announce my verdict. Could I see that wonderful smile of yours? That smile of a true entertainer, as I do? Yes, Your Honor. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Trucy Wright, not guilty. That is incredibly hilarious, isn't it? Because, no, the Gramarye still won. But no one, not even Apollo knows that he's a Gramarye. Court is adjourned. Which means it's like, can we reveal that at some point? Can La Morale come out and be like, my children! Wait, what? April 28th. District Court. Defendant Lobby. Number 2, probably, because it usually is. Number 3! Fuck! Thank you for everything, Polly. Oh, Trucy, grazie a Dio. How you can open your show tomorrow, just as planned. Yep, and it's all thanks to you two. Oh, but now that Mr. Reuse is gone, I'll need to find somebody to replace him. I don't like the way she's looking at me. Trucy, I'm so sorry about everything. Hey, what are you apologizing for? Roger Rayton's used us. We're victims too. He even made me an accomplice to murder. But Betty, we have to take some of the blame for this too, you know? Even if we didn't know he was planning to kill Mr. Mystery, we did cooperate with him. It's all my fault, isn't it? Neither one of you is to blame. The only one in the wrong is the person who used magic to commit murder, Roger Rayton's. Don't you think I know that? Say what you want, but don't think for a second that I don't still hate you. I guess she really does hate me. But Betty, why? He used to be a huge fan of Trucy's. Hey, shut up! I've always hated her. Really? But if we hadn't seen Trucy's magic show, we never would have tried to become professional magicians ourselves, right? That's right, because I think Phoenix knows? I think he does. Yeah, Phoenix knows. I don't remember if he knows about La Morale. No, he does. He does. I had to remember for a second. Speak for yourself! But, Betty, you still have her autograph from that day. Shut up! Was she acting that way this whole time because she secretly loves Trucy? Aw, she's a tsundere. Oh, Trucy, I never knew that being the best could be so tough. Come on, Bonnie, we're leaving. We have to get ready for tomorrow's show. You're really excited about performing with Trucy again, aren't you? That's not true, so zip it, dummy. Polly? Do you think I really am a naive greenhorn? Huh? Thank you, Punisher. No way, she's not... Trucy, don't tell me you're taking what Rayton said to heart. Well, maybe a little. I didn't see through his tricks, and I let myself be taken in by his magic.
I can't trust myself anymore. Tracy, I don't know if you noticed, you were on trial for murder. I don't expect you to be exactly in the best state of mind. Maybe he was right to call me a greenhorn. You shouldn't take stock in his words. He doesn't even know the first thing about you. Huh? You're a wonderful grammary magician. You should be proud of yourself. Thank you, Apollo, but what makes you say that? I know you're a wonderful grammary magician because of this. Hold on. I think it's this.
Take that!
My grandfather's notebook? The Grammary Creed. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. When you performed your magic trick in court today, you showed the world your dedication to your troop's creed. Even through all the jeering, you kept a smile on your face and won the crowd over. You are everything Magnifique could have hoped for in an heir. You're a great magician, Trucy. A great magician? Me? You really are. That's why you don't have to worry about what Rayton said. Oh, Polly, thank you. Still, I couldn't have done it without you. I would have lost my nerve if I'd been up there alone up there. But I was able to keep on smiling because of you. Me? I remembered what you said to me in the detention center. After all, you're sure you swapped the swords, right? Yes, I remember doing it. And I just know it wasn't your fault, Trucy. But how can you say that? We don't have any proof it wasn't me. I mean, I know you're a great lawyer, Polly, but I believe in you, Trucy. And I believe in your skill as a professional magician. So I'm going to prove your innocence. Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Your words are what kept me going. Apollo, thank you, from the bottom of my heart. And I can be everything I was meant to be. Trucy's real smile is the best. So glad I could help make that happen. Emma? I'm really sorry, Trucy, for everything. But why? Well, I wasn't able to convince Prosecutor Sudmati what a good person you are. And I had to testify against you too. You have nothing to apologize for. You were just doing your job. You're too kind. Oh, I don't know about... Huh? Is something wrong, Emma? Oh! For eye, Prosecutor Sudmati. Prosecutor Sudmati? What are you doing here? Detective Sky. Yes? I require your forensic expertise in order to close this case. Come, let us go. Wait! Prosecutor Sudmati! The trial is over, Mr. Justice. You and I are strangers once more, with no further need to interact. Strangers? Have you really forgotten all about me? What? You've really changed, Naida. Telling me to let it go and stuff? What happened to you, man? Oh, lawyer of impure soul. I have nothing to say to the likes of you. Are you serious, Naida? Now, if you will excuse me. What the fuck? What the fuck? Is he your ex-boyfriend? The second ex-boyfriend? Because the other one was Clay Taryn? There he goes. What was that all about, Apollo? How do you know Prosecutor Sudmati? Let's just say we're old acquaintances. Oh, God? Did you fuck Prosecutor Sudmati, Apollo? Acquaintances? It seemed like something more than that. Yeah, well, you don't like to talk about your past, do you? Because you always change the subject. That's true. He never fucking talks about his past. We don't know jack shit about Apollo's life. Like, unless something serious happens, we don't know anything. It took his best friend dying for us to learn about Clay Taryn. The only thing we know is everything from when he first became a lawyer to the present, and then a little bit about Clay Taryn, and that's it. We don't know anything else. We also know who his mom is, but we don't even know who his dad is. I guess I'll have to talk about it someday. But for now, come on, let's forget about the past and celebrate Trucy's future. Sure, if you say so. Hey, it's Mr. Wright! Put him on speakerphone, Apollo. What's up, Mr. Wright? Apollo, how's Trissy? What happened at the trial? Did you get a not guilty verdict? Mr. Wright, slow down. Everything's fine.
Hi, Daddy. I'm okay now. She was found not guilty in a very dramatic turnabout. Plus, we saved the office. It was a great victory for Apollo.
Ugh, that's a load off my mind. I can't thank you enough, Apollo. I know I can trust you to hold down the fort any time. Me? Really?
Yes, you. You're a real full-fledged lawyer now in my eyes.
A full-fledged lawyer? I still can't wrap my mind around it.
Thank goodness you were there to take care of everything.
And thank you, Apollo. No need to go that far, boss. Especially not in front of everyone. Oh, and by the way, I won't be able to make it to tomorrow's show, so I was hoping you could go. You'll do that for me, won't you? Of course! I wouldn't miss it for the world!
Full-fledged. So Daddy asked you to come to tomorrow's show, huh? As my assistant, right?
No. He just asked me to go cheer you on.
Okay, then I'll be sure to save you the best seat in the house, Polly.
The best seat in the house.
I really appreciate the thought, but good, then it's settled.
I have a bad feeling about this. Is the best seat in the house the one that's in the coffin?
April 29th, Penrose Theater. Stage.
Objection!
I should have known. This is what she meant?
Magical girl Trissy Wright will now perform her greatest illusion yet. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, ladies and gentlemen. This is real magic.
Wait a minute. You're kidding, right? There is a trick or gimmick, right? I'm too young to die.
Now then, Mr. Hat, you know what to do with that sword.
No, wait, stop! No!
Well, we're actually about to call it up. As soon as this chapter's over, we're going to leave it there. But thank you for coming by, Beast. And that is how Trissy and Gramarye Land ended on a rousing high note, with a big round of applause and Polly's ear-splitting screams.
What kind of an ending is that?
A very nice one, because Trissy was found not guilty, and I'm very happy. Huzzah! We did it! Congratulations, everyone! We cracked the case. We solved it. We're the best. Let's save. And with that, we're now a third of the way through the final game. We're getting closer. All right. Let us see. It's not, but that's where we're gonna go ahead and call it today. One moment. Okay. I know who we're gonna raid. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed some more Ace Attorney. We might continue this, or we might do something else on either Saturday or either tomorrow or Monday. I'm going to stream again. It depends. We might continue this. We might not. I don't know. I haven't decided. I might have a plan for another. I might have an idea for something else to play. I'll figure it out when the time comes. Just keep an eye on Tumblr and Discord and Blue Sky and all that good fun stuff. Until then, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. Let's go ahead and get a raid going. We're gonna go raid Nox, doing some art. Nox always got that good art going. Alright, until next time, everyone. Goodbye, I'll see you later. And... am I missing anything to say? I don't think I am. Have a great night. Bye.